For the third straight week, the Muskogee Roughers prepare to take on a high school football opponent from the state of Arkansas. The difference between games 1 and game 2, this time it's in the home of the opponent, the Mounties of Rogers. Hi, everybody. Bill Huddleston along with Nick Hampton tonight. Rougher TV and on Okie Country 101.7. We bring you the play-by-play of tonight's contest. And, Nick, tonight you kind of have a little different feeling of expectation for the Roughers. A solid performance last week despite the setback to Bentonville West, but a game in which the Roughers could have and perhaps should have won has led to great expectations for tonight's first road trip of the year.
And the Roughers have a couple of players back, namely Isaiah Givens, who was out last week with the concussion protocol, and he's back tonight and will play possibly on both sides of the ball. Trayon Brewer's also back. He was out last week, so that's good news for the Roughers in addition. And it was like Travis Hill said last week, you just got to keep improving, got to keep trying. They said the effort was there, and they're going to let us coach another week. So that's what we'll do. Well, the Roughers will take on their opponent tonight, the Mounties of Rogers, who come in with just one game on their 21 schedule. Last week's ball game that was supposed to have been at Stillwell was canceled due to COVID protocol. So the Mounties have played only one game. They won their season opener 51-40 over Siloam Springs, in which their senior tailback ran for 402 yards and 6 touchdowns. Josh Shepard. What can the Roughers do to slow that down? That'll be part of our pregame countdown to kickoff. But when we come back after our opening timeout, we'll give you a chance to meet one of the Roughers, one of the guys that is known not by his given name, but he's called Juicy. Number 12, Ronald Warren. He'll be our guest in the pregame countdown to kickoff. That after this 1-minute timeout. This is Rougher Football 2021.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Red Dirt Production Services proudly supports the Muskogee Roughers. Productivity in the oil and gas industry requires every member of the team to know their job and do it to the best of their abilities. Just like in football, teamwork is a #1 priority, and that's the mission of Red Dirt Production Services, serving the oil and gas industry through roustabout and well pumping services, along with environmental remediation and pipeline construction. Proud to join forces with the Roughers to win every day the Muskogee way. Red Dirt Production Services says, go Roughers! Each week in our Rougher pregame countdown to kickoff, we give you a chance to meet one of the guys doing work out on the field. And a guy last week that was very, very busy. Where's the number 12? Ronald Warren is how he's listed in the program. But tell me, big guy, how did you draw the name Juicy?
I ain't drink milk. I just drunk juice when I was a baby. That's it.
So that stuck with you, and obviously you're bringing juice on the defensive side. Tell me a little bit about what you're seeing from that linebacker spot and how you were able to get in on those 12 tackles last Friday night.
I was just reading my key, reading the guard, watching them. As soon as I seen them pull, I knew it was coming to me, just coming up, making a play.
Describe your style of defense, how you like to do best.
Quick, fast tempo defense, trying to just stop the run, stop the pass.
Steamroll the guy with the ball, right?
Yes, sir.
Now let's talk a little bit about this week. You know you're going to get a ground and pound type offense, an athletic guy, so you're going to have to not just physical but also be quick. What are you going to be looking for? What have you seen on game film that will help you empower the Rougher defense to shutting down this running game of the Mountaineers?
We just got to be smart and read our guards and read our blocks, because the linemen, you don't read your guard, your block, 2 seconds later, lineman, how you on the ground, be done pancaked you.
And you like to eat pancakes rather than be pancaked.
Yes, sir.
All right, now let's flip out to the high school. I know you got grades that you try to keep up at the best level you possibly can. What's your favorite class out at Muskogee High?
I'm going to say English.
Who's your teacher?
Miss Lopez.
What's going to be the key for you tonight to be able to recreate those 12 tackles?
Just drinking a lot of water, staying active, staying right, just getting ready for the game, having a good mindset.
With a good game tonight, can you talk Coach Leo into giving you juice rather than water?
Yes, sir.
All right. They call him Juicy. He's in the program as number 12, Ronald Warren. He's our pregame guest, giving you a chance to meet one of the Ruffers for 2021. When we come back, it'll be time to talk to Coach Travis Hill in our pregame countdown to kickoff. That after this timeout on Ruffer TV.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
A savings update from Jay and Rick.
If you need cash, where do you go?
The ATM.
Exactly. The August Trade Marathon at J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee.
Selling your car, make or model, doesn't matter.
If it runs, we've got the funds. Count on ATM.
Always the max.
If you're shopping and don't see the vehicle you want on our lot,
It might already be on the way. Log on today.
shop and buy online
Get delivered first.
at J. Hodge Chevrolet of Muskogee.
Muskogee Ruffer football tonight on the road in Rogers, Arkansas. We bring in head coach Travis Hill. And, Coach, we've talked about there's no place like home to play. Mm-hmm. Ruffer showed up and played last week against Bentonville West, but tonight it's an entirely different arena because you're on the road for the first time with that young football team.
Yep, we are, and it's neat. And, of course, we've played two Arkansas schools at home. We get a chance to travel over to their state and play Rogers here tonight, at their beautiful facility. So one thing for sure is our kids won't feel like they're being in a bad place, because this is a beautiful facility, a great opportunity to come over here in Northwest Arkansas, 2 hours away from home, and get a chance to see if we can get better. And if we get better, Bill, we're going to have a chance to win a football game.
Last week, close but no cigars, kind of the old adage. How much has that carried over to with the want to of the young men in preparation for this game number 3?
Young people, very, very hard to figure them out sometimes. So you've seen it where they come in, that excites them, that they know where they're at, and potentially go get a win. And sometimes they don't still understand it. So there's probably a mixture. But as a whole, we've had great practices all week long. It was fun to watch them come in, last week and prepare themselves again. So Labor Day, working a little bit on Labor Day on Monday. So most of the kids, we had great participation in a great outing. And I think that they understand and see that they're close enough to go find a way to get a win.
And it's nice, too, to begin to put some of those pieces back on the table to play with. Instead of having to carry 4 or 5 would-be players on your injured list, now you're starting to get 1s, 2s back out there that can be a difference for a series or the whole game.
Yeah. The names. Tion Brewer's back. That's a big one on our defensive line. And, having Isaiah Givens back running from our 8th position, wow, does that open up a lot of opportunities and a lot of doors. And just a little secret between me and you, you're going to see number 21 out there tonight. He's not going to play. I'll just be honest, and you can go tell Coach over there. But he's suiting up, and the reason why is because he's getting close. He's getting better. So we just want to put him in, even if it's just pregame preparation. So hopefully Tolbert will be back with us in the near future. So Walker Newton is getting ready to be back with us. So those are really neat things. But just having those 2 back this week, Isaiah and Tion Brewer, will make a big difference in our performance.
Well, certainly the Ruffers have an opportunity to do what they haven't done so far this season, is pick up a win. But I think it's just as much about we as it is about them.
There's no doubt, and that's what we try to concentrate on. We don't have a ton of opportunity to really look at Rogers and you say, we got the film, we got game 1. They did not play game 2. We got a scrimmage. With a new coach, that's hard to transition, so we don't got a ton of information. So we really did, not only because of that we didn't have as much information to make situational stuff off of them, we really worked on ourselves this week. So hopefully that will be something concentrating on ourselves, that we'll go out and see some big benefits from that tonight.
We'll take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll talk with offensive coordinator Chris Reisenhoover and find out what the Rise plan to victory is tonight against the Mountaineers of Rogers. That after this opening timeout. This is Muskogee Ruffer Football 2021.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905, serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Welcome back to Rougher Football 2021 tonight from Rogers, Arkansas. Offensive coordinator Chris Reisenhuber, our guest here in this segment. Coach, last week we saw some moments of the offense finding some cohesiveness. What have you done since last Friday night's performance against Bentonville West to improve and be ready to go tonight against the Mountaineers?
Well, there were some good things. We're just trying to continue to get better and just get more proficient at what we're doing. Whenever you look at the plays that were made, there was some good stuff out of it. Obviously, Mr. Watson stepping in at tailback, he's the real deal. And then, we had some receivers stand out and make some plays. Little Caden McGee showed up and made some catches. And then, of course, Bell, we know he's an explosive player. But whenever you really, turn the film on and just the fine ins and outs of the offense, we're just still not operating at the level that we need to get to play winning football and sustain drives and put points on the scoreboard. Pretty happy with the, yardage production, the plays. And normally, you have around 340, 350 in offense. You're going to see mid-20s on the scoreboard. And if you're lucky, you might, see 30-something on the board. 13s, you're not going to win many football games with that in today's world. So that's the main calling is to, hey, let's just operate more plays to a perfection and eliminate the mistakes.
What do you do offensively tonight to take advantage of what the Mountaineers will give you? They've got some personnel in certain positions that can be very disruptive. One, an outside linebacker that can get up the field in a hurry as well as do damaging, stopping the run. But what do you do to take advantage of what Rogers is going to try to do tonight and be able to keep that offense moving downfield?
Be solid in our protection. They're a very aggressive 3-4 defense. They're going to try to cause confusion, but in the end, they're going to be running through gaps. All defenses, whether they're a 3-4, 4-3, 4-2-5, everybody is going to take care of their gaps. So, we have whenever we have that type of style that we face, we have a few just basic runs that are gap runs, and if we get after it hard, it's going to create some creases in their defense. So main thing is that, and then just follow our basic rules in protection and give Mr. Bird a little time back here in the pocket to answer those. And then the other thing, and why we stress it so much, is the screen game's an answer for them being overly aggressive on defense. So hopefully that'll play into our hands.
Offensive coordinator Chris Reisenhuber with some pregame looks at what the Ruffers will try to do when they have the football. How can Muskogee turn a defensive game plan into success tonight against a very solid ground game of the Mountaineers? We'll talk with Steve Praver about the defensive outlook for tonight's contest. That after this timeout. This is Rougher Football 2021.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
There's an old school way of doing business here at James Hodge Ford. Exceptional service, a firm handshake, and the best price around on a new Ford vehicle. Of course, don't forget our Hodge promise to you, our customer, that's stronger than oak. That's just a great way of doing business.
The James Hodge Ford promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee. Online at hodgeford.com. Rougher Football tonight for the first time this season on the road at Rogers against the Mountaineers. We bring in defensive coordinator Steve Praver. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the simple game plan. Stop the run.
Stop the run. We're looking at stopping the run. We feel like their heartbeat of their team is the running back, and so we're going to try to gain tackle, play downhill all game long to try to slow him down. He's a very, very talented guy in that he has a lot of speed, and so if we can get to him before he gets going, I think it'll be an advantage to us.
Certainly the return of Tion Brewer to the defensive front four helps the abilities of the linebackers and keeping those offensive linemen from getting upfield.
Absolutely. Having Tion back up there definitely helps us set the line of scrimmage a lot better. With all due respect to the guys that filled in for him when he was gone, we have developed a little bit of depth there, just so if those big guys get tired, we can roll some guys in. So we feel really good about that this week.
Now, you're not going to see the same style of passing game you saw in the first two contests, certainly Greenwood or Bentonville West, but it is a quarterback that's athletic, and as Coach Hill said earlier, he can extend a play.
Absolutely. I think the first 2 weeks we were tested on the perimeter as far as receivers blocking and running precise routes. I think this game plan calls for us to put our eyes on the quarterback a lot more. He extends plays. He extends the pocket, looking downfield and hitting the receivers exactly where they need to be hit. So he can put the ball anywhere on the football field. We have to stay disciplined in coverage and also try to keep him bottled up to hopefully control the pass.
You also have to be ready for the unexpected because they've been only one game and one scrimmage to look at this year's offensive attack. But you also know, too, they've seen film of what the two previous opponents of the Roughers have been able to do. Would you expect them to adjust their offensive style and maybe make it a little bit more balanced past the run?
I expect them to do exactly what we've seen the first 2 weeks. I expect them to try to establish the run in the football early to set up the pass later on in the football game. So the keys to the game is really just stopping the run and hopefully making them one-dimensional where it's an advantage to us. I feel like when we know pass is coming and run's not, that's an advantage to our defense. So if we can establish a line of scrimmage and stop the run and get them in a predictable type of situation, I think that'll play to our advantage. But we have to be able to stop that run first and foremost.
So certainly we're looking for tonight a whole lot of third and longs.
Absolutely. If it's third and long, I feel in my heart that it's advantage us. It was advantage us last week. I feel like we can build on that this week. But again, if we can continue to win first and second down, we can absolutely give ourselves a chance to win at the end of the game.
Defensive coordinator Steve Craver with some pregame defensive outlooks, back with the winning strategy with head coach Travis Hill. That after this timeout on Rougher Football 2021. Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
There has never been a better time to buy than now. Drive a little, save a lot at Nissan of Muskogee Ultimate Used Car Sales Event. Save thousands now on all in-stock models. Come see us today at Nissan of Muskogee. Online at nissanofmuskogee.com. nissanofmuskogee.com. That's right, nissanofmuskogee.com. Use your cell phone, tablet, computer, we don't care. Just shop our huge selection of new and used online and then just pick, click, and drive. Why wait? It's that easy. Log on today at nissanofmuskogee.com.
Back now for the winning strategy brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law, back with Rougher head coach Travis Hill. I'm Bill Huddleston. Tonight from Rogers, Arkansas. Coach, we talked about it earlier being the first road trip. What things do you have to do differently to prepare for a road game that might just be everyday happenstance if you were back at Indian Bowl?
Real simply put, offensively, we had a lot of good things last week. When you look at the production of the offense, we want more points, though. And you know, Rise has talked about that. So we got to take that production and put more of that in the end zone. So offensively, I don't think we got to change anything we're doing or look for anything. We will continue to improve, obviously. Outside of that, just make sure that those yardage all translate into some points, too. Defensively, we got to stop two things, in my opinion. They can throw the football. Quarterback's a really good quarterback, but he being able to extend the play is what he does really, really well. He's a good little athlete. We got to make sure we don't let him hurt us when he extends football plays. And number two is we got to stop this tailback. I mean, 15 rushes for 400 yards in the first game. I don't think you have to say a whole lot more than that. We just half of his production would probably make us feel good, but we'd like to even do better than that. So if we can defensively stop the run and make sure that when the quarterback does try to extend plays, we don't give those opportunities to make big plays out of that. I think we'll be successful there. And then, we talked about a kicking game. With the bad luck, when you talk about it on week one of being productive and looking like it's a good suit, but you knew you weren't pressured, and then you got pressured. Some things fell apart in that last week. We got to make sure our kicking game is sound and continue to improve. So those are the keys of the game. If we can do those things, I think we got a great chance to come out of here successful.
What do you say to a young football team? And let's just throw a cloud over the stadium here before kickoff and say, if something does not go your way, maybe there's a turnover that results in a touchdown, maybe they break a long run like they did in their very first game with that talented running back. What do you say to a young group of kids that says, hold on, guys, we got to play 48 minutes, not just 30 seconds?
You wish when you had this young football team that you had control of the scoreboard. And you say, what do you mean by that, Coach? That we could just don't post the score. And when you say that, that's what your kids, you say, well, you can get that out of them. Don't look up there. What? No, come on now. We always do, and we know what the score is. But believe it or not, it's psychological. When you don't see that, it's amazing how you don't think that. And so, your eyes tell you what to think a whole lot of times. So bottom line is, that's what we try to do. Don't worry about the score. Don't think about the score. Just play hard. That's what you do control and what you don't control. So if something was bad to happen, go to the next play. And that's what we'll coach and preach. And it's possible, Bill. We all know that. It's a game of football, game of life. Things don't always go your way.
Head coach Travis Hill with tonight's winning strategy, brought to you by the law offices of Michael Finnerty. Back with more of our pregame countdown to kickoff. Leo Kraski comes in with the health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. That after this timeout. This is Ruffer Football 2021.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
It's a time when uncertainty spreads faster than understanding. It's also a time when taking steps to prepare can help us all find a sense of security. At ServPro, helping our nation's homes, businesses, and shared spaces be more clean, be more safe, is why we're here. Here in your community, here to help.
Welcome back on Ruffer Football 2021. Tonight from Rogers, Arkansas. Time now for Health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy, where their efforts are to go from setback to comeback. And that's the same job for athletic trainer Leo Kraski. And, Coach, let's just face it, Ruffers are healthier tonight than perhaps they've been all season long.
We're pretty doggone close. I'll tell you that right now. We're very, very close. Like I said, both Isaiah and Mr. Brewer are back. From their concussion protocols. They returned and they practiced the entire week and are looking great. Mr. Tolbert's on the verge. Mr. Walker's on the verge. We're doing really, really well. I'm very happy with where we're at right now. Knock on wood, everything stays that way.
Certainly. When we come back, Leo's going to talk a little bit about the different week 1 to week 2 to week 3 preparations, meaning 2 home games or a road game. We'll do that after this quick timeout for Excel Physical Therapy, keeping you from setback, bringing you to comeback on Ruffer Football 2021.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Back tonight in Rogers, Arkansas, Health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. Leo, we talked about the injury picture being so much better. What do the players, what do your staff of trainers and yourself have to do differently? Played the first 2 games at home to tonight playing on the road at Rogers.
Well, I think the biggest thing is now we've got our system down. That first week you always got to work out the kinks. Second week it's like, okay, we've worked out the kinks, let's do it now. Okay, now we should know. This third week we should be like humming like a machine, to be honest with you. Everybody knows their job. Everybody knows what has to be done. once we get that down, hey, like I said, we're a machine. We just keep humming along.
It's going to be another warm night here tonight in Rogers. What things do you have to be keenly aware of with the guys out here? Some of them are now getting more carries, more plays, offense or defense, than they had the first couple of weeks.
Well, as always, it's hydration. Hydration. We start that Thursday night, and we push that. Like I said, hey, you got to start hydrating up, guys. Let's start getting ready during the day of the game. You got to hydrate all day. You can't be like skipping. Can't be skipping meals. Can't be skipping stuff. You got to be drinking up the entire time. Before we get on the bus, even though we have to make a bus stop or something, hey, you got to hydrate up. Once we get there, keep hydrating up. It's just the big thing is hydration. That's the number one thing we got to do.
Leo, now we talk about coaches being intense and players being intense, but there was a picture floating around on the social media this week of Coach Leo being pretty intense. I know you get just as excited as the players and coaches and the fans when the Ruffers have success.
Oh yeah, I would say so. Being the strength and conditioning coach, also it's important that, like I said, from an emotional standpoint, let the players know, hey, you're invested in it. It's not just, hey, I'm here, whatever. You're invested in what they're trying to do as well. And when they see that coming from everyone, hey, they get into it more as well. So they realize, hey, I've got a lot of people behind me supporting me in this endeavor.
Well, I hope there's plenty of reasons for more pictures of Leo getting excited tonight here against Rogers.
I hope so, too.
Leo Kraske, the trainer of the Muskogee Athletics at all levels, and specifically Ruffer football, our guest here in the Health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. Back with more of our pregame countdown to kickoff. That after this timeout on Muskogee Ruffer TV. Red Dirt Production Services proudly supports the Muskogee Ruffers. Productivity in the oil and gas industry requires every member of the team to know their job and do it to the best of their abilities. Just like in football, teamwork is a number one priority, and that's the mission of Red Dirt Production Services, serving the oil and gas industry through roustabout and well pumping services, along with environmental remediation and pipeline construction. Proud to join forces with the Ruffers to win every day the Muskogee way. Red Dirt Production Services says, go Ruffers!
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Rogers, Arkansas. We're moments away from the opening kick of tonight's ballgame. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and our Ruffer TV crew to bring you the sights and sounds of Ruffer football 2021. Nick, the first two games played at Indian Bowl. Ruffers came up without a win. First time on the road poses all different types of circumstances.
Well, you got all the travel, you got the details, got to make sure everybody makes the bus. So, yeah, it's a much more tenuous thing to get everyone on the road and get them here, get the pregame meal and all the stuff that you don't have to worry about so much at home. So big test for the Ruffers tonight, and we'll see how they do against this Rogers team, which is a team that has a real strong running back, but we're not really sure about the rest. Noah Goodshield, their quarterback, converted wide receiver from last year, had a good game in their opening contest, 14 of 18, so he can pass the ball, and as you heard the coaches mention in pregame, he can be a dual threat.
As we approach the opening kick of tonight's ballgame, captains meeting down at the center of the field for the coin toss. 83 degrees is the temperature as we get to game time. Nick, that's about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than what the coaching staff thought it might be.
Yeah, they were thinking it might be in the mid-90s, and of course when we left home today it was in the mid-90s, but it got cooled off over here. So very nice playing conditions this evening here in Rogers.
Ruffers won the toss. They deferred the choice to the second half. Mounties will receive and defend what will be the north goal as this field does run north to south. Beautiful facility here on the campus of Rogers High School. It's called Whitey Smith Stadium. A renovated program from the last time the Ruffers were here, Nick. That's been a few moons ago, 2005, when Ron Lancaster brought his Ruffers here, and Ruffers came up short 28-21. In the series, this will be the sixth meeting all time. That one victory in 2005, the only time Rogers has beaten Muskogee.
So The series that has lasted quite a while, but not a whole lot of games to go with it. Ruffers needing to really kind of put things together tonight. They'll have the week off next week, and then after that they get into district play. So this will be the last, what you might call tune-up, right, to a chance to get things right and get things rolling, get some players back next week off injury, and get ready to go into district play.
Speaking of district play, the teams in the Ruffer District, including Bartlesville, Sapulpa, Bixby, Choctaw, Ponca City, Putnam City West, Sand Springs, and, of course, Bixby, we mentioned earlier, some of those in action tonight. Bartlesville is at Sapulpa. Bixby is at Stillwater in a showdown of number 1 versus number 2 in 6A2. And then you have Choctaw traveling to Dallas Jesuit, and I have a feeling the Jackets might get a handful there.
It could be, but they're a strong team. They're going to be one of the top teams in 6A2 this year to contend with. A lot of people say it might be them and Bixby that end up fighting it out.
Ponca City is at Tulsa McLean. PC West is cross-rival opponent PC High School. That's Putnam City West versus Putnam City High, or PCO as it's commonly referred to as the original Putnam City. And, of course, Sand Springs and Booker T with the week off until next Friday night, which, by the way, the Ruffers will have an open date next week before starting district play 2 weeks from tonight when they travel to take on Putnam City West. We mentioned the Ruffers won the coin toss, Nick. A little bit of a concern for the Ruffers tonight because of a late scratch in the Ruffer lineup. Skylar Onebear, who's been doing all the kicking so far this season, did not make the trip for undisclosed reasons. We do understand it is health-related issues, but Skylar unable to go, so we'll see how the Ruffers will adjust their kicking game tonight against the Mounties, who have a very strong running game, a controlled passing game, but they like to make their bread and butter with the guy that wears the jersey number 6, Joshua Shepard, who in the first game of the season carried the ball 14 times and rushed for 402 yards and 6 scores.
Yeah, he's a handful, but he's the guy that will have the target on his back tonight for the Ruffer defense. You heard the coaches talk about putting on the pressure to stop him. He's a speedster, so you can't let him get to the outside or he'll burn you. So they got to stop him, contain him, and then make the tackles. Got to have good tackling tonight for the Ruffer defense.
I don't think we'll see as fast a tempo of the offense ran by Rogers as what we've seen the first 2 weeks, or at least I certainly hope not. Because if it's faster than what Greenwood or what Bentonville West did, we're in for a track meet. It will be the Birdman, Jamarian Ficklin. They'll be doing the kicking chores to get the game started tonight. As we await the kick across the front 4 for the Ruffers will be Tion Brewer, who's back from that concussion protocol, missing last week's game, the 6'3", 230-pound sophomore. He'll be joined up front by Arion Parrish, a nose guard, a sophomore, 6'2" and 312. And then defensive end Devin Whitfield, 6'0", 218, and a senior. The outside rougher back, as he's called, will be Dion Bowler, 5'7", 150 pounds, soaking wet sophomore, but a guy that likes to bring the energy. And speaking of bringing the energy, how about the converted middle linebacker, KD Freeman? Just call him KD. He's 5'8", listed at 180. No, he's about 155 at the most. The Ruffers will angle the kick. It'll go out of bounds, and that's just a precautionary move on the part of the coaching staff there, Nick, to not do something that would create a situation early in the ball game, kick it out of bounds, force the Mounties then to start 1st and 10, and they'll get the first possession of the night, and they'll start from their own 30-yard line.
Okay.
Here in Arkansas, it goes
back. No. Yeah, I guess.
It goes to okay.
Now we're moving in.
Yeah, I thought it started at the 35.
Rules? Okay.
But Rogers will have the first football of the night. They'll be moving from our left to right.
Noah Goodshield, the quarterback.
Senior, 5'9", 165-pound sophomore. Senior, excuse me. Converted wide receiver. Shepard is to his right side. They'll play action, throw it out in the flat. Pass is caught at the 40, up the boundary quickly. Might have expected a little bit different look. Cade Steldenbridge was the intended receiver. He makes the grab and bounces all the way upfield to the 44-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds. 2nd and short. Mounties do go no huddle, although not quite at the pace of Greenwood 2 weeks ago. Ruffers adjust, handoff goes in traffic, big crease up the middle, 45 across midfield into Ruffer territory, just right up the middle, Nick. And Shepard, who's got a fast start, He slashes across midfield all the way to the 43-yard line in Rougher territory.
13 yards on the first carry for Shepherd on the night.
First down of the night. This time again, it'll come to Shepherd. He'll come near side, cut to the inside. Ruffers come up quickly off the outside edge and get the trip, as able to reach in and knock.
Juicy was on part of the tackle there.
Shepherd was the intended ball carrier, but it was Jaden Swanson that also got up there, kind of hobbled on the play, but he gets a loss of 2 yards back upfield to the, or actually 3 yards back upfield to the 46-yard line. So now 2nd and 13 for the blue and white cloud Mounties, or Mountaineers, your choice of mascot, but it's blue and white. It's Rogers versus Muskogee. Ruffers in the all-white uniforms with the green numerals and trim and that flat green helmet. Out of the gun, play action. Quarterback, good shield, going to throw the ball downfield deep. Has a receiver over 25 at the 20. Got a block on the edge, cuts inside of another. Still on his feet at the 5, breaks tackle, dives for the end zone. Did he get there? Touchdown. Cade Seldom-Ridge on the reception. Ruffers got a little bit twisted that time, Nick, in their coverage, and then Seldom-Ridge, after he catches the football, knows what to do with it. And just like that, it's a 46-yard touchdown pass from Noah Goodshield to Cade Seldom-Ridge, and the Mounties are on the scoreboard.
They also had another receiver that was open down there a little bit further down the field that he could have hit as well.
So the first drive goes 65 yards and takes only 4 plays. The PAT is right down the middle good. Timeout on the field. 10:47 left to go. Opening quarter. It is Rogers 7, Muskogee with their first chance to get the football and see what they can do to put points on the board. Still with the 0. We're back in 30 seconds on Rougher Football.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Well, as the sun sets, leaving shadows across the playing field, the Mounties of Rogers waste no time, using just over a minute to go 65 yards. Of course, the big scoring play, a 46-yard touchdown strike from Noah Goodshield to Cade Seldom-Ridge. And, Nick, while the anticipation may have been for the Mounties to run the football, they've come out with a little different wrinkle tonight with the passing game.
Well, they used a little short pass initially and then hit the deep one to for the touchdown.
K.O. Slava will angle the kick over to the 30, 35 at the boundary, 40, 45 across midfield. Fumbled the football, but after he's out of bounds, Ruffers on the return. K.D. Freeman taking it over on the edge, and he knew what to do with it. They're going to say he stepped on the painted sideline at the 46-yard line. So Muskogee will get good field position to start their first offense, and it'll be the Bird Show. Jamarian Ficklin, the freshman, 5'11", 160. Of course, last week's workhorse in the backfield, Anthony Watson. He'll get the starting call. He'll be joined in the backfield, 2 actual running backs, and Gibbons will run the football tonight, but he'll also kind of line up in that H-back position. But it does cause the defensive coordinators to say, wait a minute, we haven't seen this guy before. Gibbons now will go in a slot out wide to the right as Watson will line up off the left shoulder, belt across the formation. Play action, back in the pocket. Ficklin going to throw deep, looking to go downfield. Had a receiver there, was being checked out on the edge side, trying to go to Caden McGee. And Ivan Hernandez was the man in coverage for the blue and white cloud Mounties. So incomplete on the first strike. Ruffers try to strike them quick, Nick, but just could not make the pass count.
Good coverage that time by the Mounties as they were step and step right there with the intended receiver, and Watson with a pretty good pass, or with Ficklin with a pretty good pass, but well covered on the play.
Bell and Todd come to the short side, boundary left. Ficklin in the pocket, going to rifle the pass out to Bell across the 50, and then squared a hit between the shoulder blades on the catch. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 48-yard line. So that'll be only a 6-yard pickup. The Ruffers will have their first third down of the night. Tackle that time made by Ashton Alston, the junior linebacker, who's not only a good defender, but he's pretty good in the classroom, carrying a 4.0 GPA.
So the Ruffers now need to convert, kind of get some momentum back after that opening touchdown drive by the Mounties. kind of get things back on their side.
Watson this time to the right of Ficklin. Givens in motion, takes the handoff, cuts upfield, ducks inside out, and not going to get up the field for the first down. Nick, he took a look up the field, but then you saw that quick little dance to the outside, and that pretty much shut off the forward progress. Needed to go to the 44 from the 48, got 2, and now the Ruffers have a decision. Do we punt the ball with Ficklin, or do we run it here on 4th down and 2, or pass?
Well, Ficklin looking over to the sideline to see what Chris Reisenhuber wants to do offensively, and I think the Ruffers are going to go for it here.
See how the Mounties will stack their defense in their 3-man front. Watson to the right of Ficklin on a 4th and 2. Bird with a hard count. He'll step back now, and
he'll probably punt it. Yeah.
Timeout's going to be taken by Muskogee. So we'll wait and see what the coaching staff will decide on this 4th and short situation. 9:11 left to go, opening quarter. Mounties of Rogers with a 7-0 lead over Muskogee. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2021.
A savings update from Jay and Rick.
If you need cash, where do you go?
The ATM.
Exactly. The August Trade Marathon at J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee.
Selling your car, make or model, doesn't matter.
If it runs, we've got the funds. Count on ATM.
Always the max.
If you're shopping and don't see the vehicle you want on our lot,
it might already be on the way. Log on today.
Shop and buy online.
Get delivered first.
At J. Hodge Chevrolet of Muskogee.
9:11 left to go. Some early excitement here as the Mounties score quickly on a 46-yard touchdown pass. Now the Ruffers on a 4th and 2. Watson to the left of Jamarian Ficklin. Twin receivers. Now there's motion up front, and where the defensive player jumped into the neutral zone. Now Ficklin will boot it away. A good kick by Bird. It'll hit at the 1, check up, roll back upfield. Ruffers will down it at the 3. Well, that had some nice English on it, Nick. A little backspin from the Birdman. But what could have been an encroachment penalty, flag was not thrown, and the Ruffers end up punting the football, and it'll be down at the 4-yard line.
I guess they decided that he didn't cross the line of scrimmage even though he moved, and so no flag thrown. But the Ruffers do pin the Mounties back way deep in their own end of the field. And so let's see now if the defense can regroup and put a stop here to the Mounties on this drive.
Second possession this time for Rogers, starting deep in their own end of the field. The running back, Joshua Shepard, will line up off the left shoulder, standing about a yard deep in the end zone as Goodshield takes the handoff, gives it to Shepard, slashing between would-be tacklers out across the 5, across the 10, and the scrum goes up to about the 12-yard line.
Nice
Good
run,
execution up front. 6 foot, 263-pound sophomore Connor Simmerman at 1 guard. Eliseo Guevara, a 5'10", 220-pound sophomore at another guard, and a junior in the middle, Nick Carter, 5'10", 250, opening a crease.
Gets 9 on the carry, so 2nd and 1.
Gives you a lot of different options. Quick toss, out in space, catch made at the 18, across the 20, across the 25. As Jansen Garner, the sophomore tight end, who had 1 catch a week ago, this one takes it from the 13 to the 27. That'll be 14 yards, but another 1st and 10 for the Mounties. Ruffers seem a bit confused, Nick, in their defensive alignments here early. 1st and 10 for Rogers. The handoff this time coming Shepard right, cuts upfield 30, and a nice effort to slice in between 2 would-be tacklers. K.D. Freeman, the middle linebacker, able to get at the ankles of the running back, Shepard. He'll go from the 27 to the 32, a gain of 5, so it's 2nd and 5 yards to go. 2 receivers to the boundary, short right. This time, Shepard to the left. And as the snap of the football happens, we get penalties, and Ruffers are offside. Is the preliminary indication out on the far edge. Keandre Johns was pointed to be the guilty party, says the line judge.
So that'll give
be an automatic first down.
Give them close to that first down if it's not. Yep, they do say first down. So
out at the, what will be the 37-yard line. 7 minutes, 48 seconds left to go, quarter number 1. Rogers with a 7-0 advantage over the Ruffers. Scoreboard update brought to you by Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. Trips go wide left this time. Shepard to the right. Play action pass out in space. Catch is made. Ruffers get out there quickly. Nice coverage out on the outside edge. Ruffers, Deshaun Smith got out there making the stop. The receiver was Seldom Ridge, but he shut that one down pretty quickly, and at closing skills holds it to just a 3-yard gain.
And that's what they need to do is the Mounties use that little short passing game almost like an extension of the run, get it into the hands of the receivers and let them do the damage, and that time they keep Sheldon Ridge to a short game.
This time Shepard to the right of Goodshield. Snap goes through his hands, it's loose, and he'll go back and touch it on a knee back at the 27-yard line. Just a busted snap through the hands of Goodshield, but he did the smart thing, Nick, as he raced back and put both hands on it and had his knees on the ground. It'll be a big loss of 10 yards. Going actually from the 40 all the way back to the 27, so it'll be a loss of 13 on the play. But it'll be 2nd down and 20. Have to go to the 47-yard lines to move the chains. This time the Mounties will move 3 wide receivers to the boundary wide right. Shepard in the backfield. Wish Goodshield. This time going to throw it up the boundary. Ruffers defend it well. Tried to knock the defender out of bounds. There's a flag down on the play. Ruffers may get called for pass interference because there was a bump on the receiver out on the edge.
It looked like, I was going to say he went out of bounds. I don't know if he did that on his own, but apparently they say the Ruffers helped him go out of bounds.
The Ruffer coaching staffs are questioning why that play is allowed to count as a pass completion. We'll let the officials say.
So it stands as a completion.
It'll stand as a completion, and that time Keandre Johns trying to play the bump and run coverage and knocked the receiver out of bounds. He came back, and he was the first to touch the football. So the gain will go all the way to the Muskogee 48-yard line. That's a 25-yard pass play and a 1st and 10. Now an empty backfield. Goodshield going to wall to his right, looking to throw downfield deep. Ruffers don't have a receiver. He was out of bounds and then came back in and made the catch. Making the grab that time was Grayson Cash, but there are flags back upfield.
So let's hold everything here.
Now the guy with the football is already coming back up the field. See if this will be on Muskogee or if it'll be on Rogers. Defensive holding is going to be the call on the Ruffers. Wow, that's a tough break there.
Another decline penalty, and so the play stands.
And it will go all the way to the 15-yard line. So that'll be a 33-yard pass play. You get the idea that the Mounties have done a little film study for the last 2 weeks?
Well, they have had that extra time since they didn't play last week.
Trips this time go wide to the left. Rogers with a 1st and 10 at the Muskogee 15. Counter, throw back on a little bubble screen. Caught is Shepard. He's able to get downfield from the 15 to the 11. That'll gain 4 on the pass completion. K.D. Freeman was the first Ruffer there to make the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Mounties started this drive at their own 4-yard line, and Nick with some big plays that moved it now to a 2nd and 11. Now the Ruffers, now here they're going to call the encroachment against Muskogee.
They did jump across the line that time.
He did come across, but so did the other guy a moment ago, but there was no flag thrown. I mean, the hand that time came right across the line of scrimmage, so it'll be a 5-yard walk-off. And it'll leave 2nd and short from the 6. So Muskogee hurting themselves here early. 6:02 to go. Goodshield going to throw it. Receiver got behind everybody. Everybody turned around looking the other way, and Finley Bunch on the receiving end of the toss. A 6-yard touchdown strike. Noah Goodshield to Finley Bunch. That's senior to senior. That's the 2nd touchdown of the night, and quickly in 2 possessions, the Mounties have put 13 points on the scoreboard with the PA2 to come.
That's the 6th or 5th different receiver tonight that Goodshield has hit for a completion.
Get the idea now why his statistics were so high the first week of the year. K.O. Slava will be on to try the PAT. It's perfect right up the middle, and there's timeout on the field. Trip 5's on the scoreboard. 5:55 left, quarter number 1. Rogers Mounties with 2 quick scores. 14-0 advantage over the Ruffers. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2021.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
9 plays, 96 yards. A couple of big passing plays in that possession, 1 of 25, which got him out of a 3rd and 20 situation. And then the 6-yard scoring strike from Goodshield a bunch, and the PAT makes it a 14-0 advantage here with 5:55 to play in the opening quarter.
Goodshield 8 of 8 passing so far tonight, already 141 yards.
So now the Mounties will kick off. But everything has been true blue for Rogers. The kick goes into the end zone. That'll be an automatic touchback as Bell catches it about 2 yards deep. So Muskogee will get their second offensive series. Rougher football this season brought to you by Cornerstone Funeral Home, J. Hodge Chevrolet, by Bravado Wireless, Pioneer Abstract, and by Northeast Oklahoma Health Systems.
Ruffers 3 and out on their first possession, coming close on a 3rd down but couldn't convert. And so now let's see if the offense can wind it up here.
Anthony Watson this time will line up as the running back. He's to the right side of Jamarian Ficklin. Trips go wide left. Counter, quick out in space to Isaiah Gibbons at the 20. Gibbons out across the 25 before they'll say he stepped on the painted sideline at the 26. Little bubble type screen, Nick, just as you mentioned earlier, a little extension of the running game. And Gibbons able quickly to get 6 yards. You got the idea here that Reisenhoover is trying to spread the offense a little bit, get them focused on the passing, and then hit the Ant-Man up the middle.
Yep, that's exactly right.
2nd down and 4 from the 26. Bell, the lone receiver, wide to the left. Ficklin, this time will give it to Watson. Goes straight ahead, met by a host of blue jerseys. The first guy that gets there is the 3-year starter, the outside linebacker, who is kind of the heartbeat of this Mountie defense. Marion Slater, 6 foot, 235-pound sophomore, 42 tackles a year ago. He stuffed Watson right at the line of scrimmage for no gain, and the Ruffers will have another 3rd down situation.
3rd and 5 for the Ruffers at the 26.
5:20 to play here in the opening quarter. Ruffers' second offensive series. Ficklin this time scampering out to his left, little bubble screen, back to the opposite side. Watson trying to turn the corner, has it, 30, 35, has a block, 40, 45 across midfield and into Mountie territory. There is a flag down, and the Ruffers here may get called for a crackback block, Nick. That's tough because that's upfield at the 35-yard line. That would negate the 1st down.
Oh, and a great run, too, that time by Watson as he just rumbled up the sideline, then lowered his shoulder at the point of the tackle and just ran over another tackler there.
But you can see the discussion on the sideline. Chris Reisenhoover, Ryan Dvorak, and Travis Hill not too pleased with that yellow laundry. So that'll be a major infraction of 15 yards. It'll take it back from the point of the foul, which was the 35, back to the 20-yard line. So the Ruffers now, instead of having 3rd and 4, now we'll have 3rd down and 10. And really takes away a big opportunity because it went all the way to the 48-yard line in Rogers territory. Clock stopped on the penalty flag. So nothing going right here on this first road trip of 2021. Now an empty backfield for Jamarian Ficklin. Straight drop back, time to look, time to throw, up the field, throws high for Jaden Bell. In and off his fingertips. Coverage that time by Ty Cunningham for the Ropers, and for all practicalities, Nick, the Ruffers again go 3 and out.
Well, again, the penalty bug biting them. That's the big penalty there. They had a couple that were not taken on the Mountie drive that resulted in big plays for them on their touchdown drive.
So now back for the return, Cade Seldenridge, as Jamarian Ficklin will do the punting. We mentioned Skylar Onebear unable to make the trip tonight for medical purposes. End over end kick. Seldenridge will backpedal to his 44, looking for a wall, comes to the edge, 40, 35 on the boundary, 30, 25, cuts inside of a would-be tackler, going to take this one to the house. Cade Seldenridge just weaving his way through traffic. Now there is a flag down upfield. So this may negate a big punt return of 56 yards by Cade Seldenridge.
And the flag is really on the other side of the field from where the run was, which is
you got a feeling it's holding as you're trying to come up the field, Nick. That would be my guess. But the Ruffers kind of self-destructing here in the opening 7+ minutes of play. Seldenridge did a good job of setting up his blockers, Nick, and then adjusting to that as he came down the near boundary on the Rogers home side and then cut back to the middle and had a pretty easy walk into the end zone. But that's going to be negated as the referee and umpire discuss the penalty flag here.
Referee is Colby Berna tonight, and let's see what after the discussion, he's going to come up and tell us what's going on.
We had some problems with the wireless mic communication. Berna is indicating the penalty to be against Muskogee.
Well, he hasn't signaled anything officially yet.
No, but he has told, well, now, wait a minute. Personal foul against Muskogee. Oh, my goodness.
What was that all about? Wow.
I do not know.
So the touchdown punt return stands.
56-yard punt return by Cade Seldenridge. Now here with 4:45 to go, the Mounties have touched the ball 3 times, and they've got 3 touchdowns to show for it. And on to try to make it a 21-0 advantage here, still with half the quarter to go, is K.O. Slaba, and it's perfect. Timeout on the field, 4:45 left, opening quarter. Ruffers have been knocked to the turf, not once, not twice. And now they got to get up and go again, down 21-0. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2021.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Well, if you were late tuning in, you've missed a lot of excitement for the Mounties. A 65-yard drive, including a 46-yard touchdown pass. A 96-yard drive, capitalized on a 6-yard touchdown pass. And then just moments ago, a 56-yard punt return by Cade Seldenridge, his second score of the night. And add to that the cherry on top, or the icing on the cake, so to speak, is a personal foul that's assessed against the Ruffers, and Mounties will kick off on the 45. Slava will just boot this one out of the back of the end zone.
So that's 4 penalties for 40 yards against the Ruffers.
And they have been huge, Nick.
And that's the ones that have been taken. There have been another 4 or 5 that were called against Muskogee that were refused.
Exactly. 21-0 here early in quarter number 1. Ruffers' first 2 series first started from the 46, the second from the 20. This third possession will start from the Muskogee 20-yard line. 4:45 to go, opening quarter play. Motion across the formation is Caden McGee. The counter, give it off to Watson upfield, 25, and then has his feet taken out from underneath him by the blue and white clad defense. And again, it is Marion Slater, the outside linebacker. A gain of 2 for Watson on first down, second down and 8.
So far, Watson hasn't found much in the way of running room against this Mountie defense, thanks to that linebacker who's been in there in his face all night.
So now Ficklin out of the shotgun, takes the snap, sets up, throws quickly on the edge, intended for Caden McGee on a comeback. It'll be ruled incomplete. In and off the fingertips of the Ruffer sophomore receiver. So another third down situation. Ruffers were unsuccessful in their first 2 attempts. They'll go this one second down or make it third down and now 8 yards to go. Had one actually wiped out because of a penalty.
First third down situation was 3rd and 2, then 3rd and 5, and now 3rd and 7 or 8.
Have to go to the 30-yard line to keep the chains moving. Trips come wide to the left. Ball resting in the center of the field for Ficklin. Straight drop back. Blitz comes up the middle. Ficklin with a little shake and bake move. He had no escape room. He'll lose 2 yards, Nick, but he did just a good job to get that. As a safety blitz, Ty Cunningham, the 6-foot junior, came blowing right up the middle untouched and forced Ficklin to play his cards, and Bird's able to get back to the 20-yard line. So a loss of 2. So 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. That's not this type of offense that Chris Reisenhoover or the Ruffers expected to have tonight here against the Mounties. And now Ficklin will be back to punt, and Seldom Ridge, who just a moment ago went 56, will be back to return this one. High kick, fielded this time back upfield, fumbled at the 40, picked up by Seldom Ridge, keeps his balance, and then across midfield and out of bounds at the 49-yard line. So a mishandled punt, but Seldom Ridge got a perfect bounce right back into his hands, and he'll bring it back to the 49-yard line in Ruffer territory.
And so the field position that the Mounties start in has also improved with every exchange of the ball so far. Now, first time they started in Muskogee territory.
35 in their own end of the field, 4 in their own end, and now, as you mentioned, Nick, the 49 in Muskogee's territory. 3:22 to go opening quarter. Rogers with 3 quick touchdowns and a 21-0 advantage. Scoreboard update brought to you by Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. Again, quick out route. Catch is made between 2 defenders. Making the catch, Jansen Garner, young sophomore. Sure-handed, kind of took that one right off the top of the shoes and goes down at the 43, so it'll be a 6-yard pass play. Mounties have done an excellent job of mixing up their plays here, Nick. 2nd and 4, have to go to the 39. Good shield. This time we'll hand it off. Shepard will change directions. Then he runs into the defensive front. That time the Ruffers had more white shirts there than blue doing the blocking. Tion Brewer, the 6'3", 230-pound sophomore, making his presence felt. The game will be downfield, forward progress to the 41. So a gain of 2.
Give Shepard now 27 yards and 5 carries. Target was on his back, but so far the Mounties have taken it through the air for the most part to rip the Ruffer defense.
Their second third down opportunity of the first quarter. On a 2nd and short, needed to go to the 39 from the 41. Hand off, give it to Shepard, broke the tackle, bounces outside at the 35, the 30, inside the Ruffer 30 and down to the 29-yard line where the knee will touch. So that'll go from the 41 to the 29. That'll be a gain of 12. And the Mounties have been just picture perfect offensively in their execution here. 2 for 2 on third down tries. Now trips come wide to the right this time for Goodshield. He'll take the snap, play action, roll to his left, throw upfield, has it again, an open receiver. The coverage just a total bust, and making the grab, the man of the night for the Mounties, Cade Seldom Ridge. This time there's no laundry anywhere, and it's a 29-yard scoring toss from Noah Goodshield to Cade Seldom Ridge, and it's a 27-0 advantage with a PAT to follow.
And we're still in the first quarter, folks.
Noah Goodshield, who 2 weeks ago had only 1 touchdown toss in 14 of 18. Nick, tonight he's been much more productive than that. The extra point by Slaba is perfect. There's time out on the field with 1:43 left to go in the opening quarter. Talk about a shocker. Rogers striking fast and often. Mounties with a 28-0 advantage over Muskogee. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2021.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you on this game number 3 for Rougher Football 2021. Rougher Football this season brought to you by Red Dirt Production Services, by Serpro Muskogee, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, Nissan of Muskogee, and by Excel Physical Therapy. And Ruffers could sure use some insurance. How about call David Cobb, State Farm Insurance Agent. For all your insurance needs, give David Cobb a call, 918-682-2511. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 quick scores by the Mounties to take a 28-0 lead here with 1:43 left in the opening 12 minutes of action. Slavis high, end-over-end kick. Bell will backpedal. He'll take it one step deep. They're going to let him bring it out. When you have a foot in the end zone, that should be an automatic whistle, but there was none taken. The return will only come back to the 12-yard line. Now, that's one of those where maybe the excitement and the desire of Jaden Bell to create something, Nick, he might have been wiser just to let that one hit the end zone and come out to the 20-yard line, as now the Ruffers will start from their own 13. So the field position getting worse as the quarter goes along.
Yeah, sure.
Ruffers this time will send 3 receivers, Todd, Gibbons, and Bell wide to the left. Watson, the running back, along with Ficklin. They'll hand it off to Ant, trying to turn the corner. Inside of one tackler, bounce off the first contact, and bounces his way upfield to about the 17-yard line. A gain of 4.
Hard-earned yards for the Ant-Man.
It's kind of like that pinball machine, just bouncing off one flipper to the next.
3 carries for 6 yards for Watson so far.
Last week, Ant had a good night, 20 carries for 118 yards in the game against Bentonville West. 2nd down and 6. This time the 3 receivers will go wide right. Todd by himself over on the left. Now Ficklin going to look for Bell, throws in his direction, and it's overthrown. Joel Garner was in secondary coverage for the Mounties.
Hard to get that ball to Bell when he's way downfield like that. Only 5'8", so the defensive backs generally be a little bit taller than he is, and it's hard to just drop that ball over them into Bell's hands.
His 4th offensive series of the opening quarter now with 49 seconds remaining. Ruffers again, 3rd down and extended yardage. They'll have to go to the 23, so it's 3rd down and 6. Empty backfield this time for Ficklin. Takes the waist-high snap. In the pocket, flushed. Rolls to his right. Throws upfield. Intercepted. This will be a cakewalk to the end zone. Tried to throw it across his body. And just an easy, quick pick six situation that time for the Mounties. Mabry Verser, sophomore with the INT. Picked it off at about the 20-yard line and rambles into the end zone for the touchdown, and the Ruffers have been attacked by a group of Mounties here tonight.
Wow.
Mabry Verser with a pick six of a 20-yard return. With a young and volatile squad, how do you pick your kids back up here? The extra point is good. Timeout on the field. 40 seconds left in the opening 12 minutes. Rogers has scored 5 times. Special teams, defense, and offense, and lead 35-0 over the Muskogee Ruffers. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Rougher Football 2021.
There's an old school way of doing business here at James Hodge Ford. Exceptional service, a firm handshake, and the best price around on a new Ford vehicle. Of course, don't forget our Hodge promise to you, our customer, that's stronger than oak. That's just a great way of doing business.
The James Hodge Ford promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee. Online at hodgeford.com. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you tonight from Rogers, Arkansas. Nick, you and I are both old enough to remember the old television commercials. Excedrin headache number
35 so far tonight for Muskogee.
That's what it is. 35-0 Rogers. Special teams on a punt return, touchdown passes, and now a pick six by Mabry Verser on the pick of Jamarian Ficklin's pass into the flat. Rogers this time will kick the ball, and it will roll out of bounds. And this time, Jaden Bell alertly watches it roll out of bounds. So the Muskogee Ruffers will start their 5th series here in the first quarter. This time they'll start from their 35. First possession started from the 46, then the second from the 20, the third from the 20, the last one from the 13. And now this one will start 1st and 10, going from our right to left or from south to north at the 35-yard line, which matches the points on the scoreboard for the Mounties of Rogers.
Sure, Chris Reisenhoover scratching his head now, the Ruffer offensive coordinator, trying to figure out what's going to work. The running game's been stalled. Passing game hasn't clicked at all going long. I've hit a couple of short ones, and that's about it.
So now the Ruffers will line up with one back either side of Ficklin. They'll block, hand it off to Gibbons up the middle, looking for a little more power with Watson leading the blocking. Gibbons takes the exchange. He'll pop upfield to about the 39. So that'll gain 4. We'll have a chance for about one more play left here in the opening 12 minutes. But it has been a downhill tsunami, tidal wave, hurricane, tornado, whatever you want to call it. It has been a storm, and the Mounties have a 35-0 advantage. Now on 2nd down and 6. Ficklin again with backs to his left and right. Takes the snap, gives it off to Watson, trying to come to his left. Little, I won't say aggressive effort that time by Watson as he kind of waited and he got stretched to the boundary. He'll get upfield to the 40 and pick up 1, and that'll be the end of the first quarter nightmare here at Whitey Smith Stadium. 35-0 Rogers in front of the Muskogee Ruffers. We're back in 1 minute. This is Muskogee Ruffer Football 2021.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at FinnertyLaw.com.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Back to action, a short abbreviated timeout on the change of quarters. A quick slant route intended for Caden McGee, and the freshman left his sophomore teammate, Nick, up for grabs that time, and McGee paid the price for it. Incomplete. Another 3 and out, the 5th here in the first half for the Ruffers.
Ficklin 2 of 8 through the air with an interception return for a big 6.
Now the Ruffers trying to get the right personnel on for the kicking team here. Ficklin takes the snap, and Bird this time a little end-over-end knuckler down the far boundary, and it'll hit the sideline at about the 28-yard line. That's where Rogers will get it back. First drive for the for the Mounties. Man, I wish it was.
We shouldn't have talked about that.
Indeed. First drive went 4 plays, 65 yards. Next play went 10 plays, 96 yards. Then a 4-play, 51-yard drive, or 49-yard drive, a pick 6, and now getting it back here to start their first series of the second quarter, leading 35-0. Rogers with the football.
It's so easy to say Rogers Ropers after all these years of broadcasting.
Indeed it is. But right now, it is the Mounties doing whatever they choose, offense or defense. Good shield. Handing off this time to Shepard.
That's a face mask.
Penalty here going to be thrown against the Ruffers because, it was pretty evident here as Shepard took the handoff. He got wrapped up by LaShawn Mans at the line of scrimmage, but maybe a 1-yard gain. But the penalty is going to be on the Ruffers. And the laundry, Nick, tonight on top of just the missed assignments, offense and defense, as well as kicking game, this has just been a total, just a nightmare if you're a Muskogee Rougher. The 15-yard penalty walked off from the end of the play. So that'll take it to the 44-yard line. Everything rolling true blue for the Mounties. Good shield, motion across the formation, and as the snap of the football comes back, we get a flurry of yellow flags. This time it'll be on Rogers. They'll back it up 5.
First penalty of the night against the Mounties.
11 minutes, 32 seconds left to go, quarter number 2. Rogers with a 35-0 lead over the Muskogee Roughers. Scoreboard updates brought to you by Kyle Edwards Buick GMC. This time, Noah Goodshield will have Shepard to his right. Split in a slot to the boundary left side. Goodshield going to throw it high. It's up in the air. Picked off. Keandre Johns with the pick. Can he take it down the boundary? At the 20, 15, 10, 5 to the end zone. Touchdown, Muskogee. The deflected pass off the hands of the Mounties receiver, and KJ comes up with the Oski and the pick 6. 44 yards on the pass interception return. Finally, Nick, something shines bright for the guys wearing the green and white.
Well, maybe we just needed to change quarters. Maybe that was the key as the Roughers get 6. And, well, you thought they'd won the Super Bowl after the way they erupted on the sideline, but why not? You got to have something good to cheer about.
Indeed. So now the Roughers will, without Skylar Onebear tonight, who did not make the trip for medical purposes, you would expect here the Roughers to go for 2 because they don't have another kicker, at least in uniform tonight. Watson will line up off the left shoulder of Ficklin. Play clock is down to 6, and now Muskogee is going to have to spend a timeout.
They didn't have enough players on the field.
So a timeout will be taken by Muskogee. We'll keep it here. Rougher football this season is brought to you in part by James Hodge Ford, by Mike Finnerty, attorney at law, by Buffalo Wild Wings, who sponsors our Rougher offensive and defensive players of the night, by David Cobb State Farm Insurance, and by Manhattan Construction, building the future of Muskogee Public Schools.
Other 6A2 scores tonight. Choctaw leading Dallas Jesuit by a score of 22-15. Sapulpa's ahead of Bartlesville 13-7. PC West playing Guthrie tonight, so maybe a problem there. They were supposed to play with original Putnam City. 7-7 that score in the game tonight.
35-6. Ruppers finally on the scoreboard on the pick 6 effort of Keandre Johns. Here now with 11:08 to go. So Ruppers will go for the 2-point conversion. We mentioned Skylar Onebear unable to make the trip tonight. Ficklin out in the flat to Watson. He can't get to the end zone. Just good coverage out of the backfield. The linebacker Ashton Alston stopping Anthony Watson short of the line to gain. And it'll be a 35-6 scoreboard reading when we come back. Timeout on the field. 11:08 left to go before halftime. It's been all Rogers. Ruffers trail 35-6. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Rougher Football 2021.
There has never been a better time to buy than now. Drive a little, save a lot at Nissan of Muskogee Ultimate Used Car Sales Event. Save thousands now on all in-stock models. Come see us today at Nissan of Muskogee. Online at nissanofmuskogee.com. nissanofmuskogee.com. That's right, nissanofmuskogee.com. Use your cell phone, tablet, computer, we don't care. Just shop our huge selection of new and used online and then just pick, click, and drive. Why wait? It's that easy. Log on today at nissanofmuskogee.com.
Rougher defense puts points on the scoreboard. The ensuing kick up the field. Mounties will just let it roll. It'll skip out of bounds. And that'll bring it out to the 35-yard line. But Keandre Johns with the INT in return of 44 yards puts Muskogee on the scoreboard. But now, Nick, they've got to find a way to come up with some more good defense and force the Mounties to have to go 3 and out. Ruffers have been unsuccessful on 5 tries.
More scores. That was Putnam City North instead of West playing Guthrie. Putnam City and Putnam City West playing. PC Original leads that game 21-0. Del City ahead of Carl Albert 14-13. Ponca City ahead of McLean 16-0.
Ruffers trying to break a 10-game losing streak, including last year's 0-7 mark. Good shield. Delay handoff. Gives it off to Shepard. Counters, goes back to the opposite side. 40, 45, and out to about the 47-yard line. Now there is another piece of that yellow laundry laying in the middle of the field.
That's going to be a block in the back because Shepard reversed his field and his lineman didn't know it. I'm thinking, anyway.
That or a hold. Either way, it's going to be against the Mounties.
Nice piece of running, though, by Shepard.
Yeah, he's not a guy that's going to just go down on a touch. That's called a chop block. An illegal block below the waist. So they'll walk that off from the line of scrimmage, which was the 35. It's a major 15-yard penalty, and that'll put it back to the 20. Chad Harbison was the offensive coordinator the past 2 seasons for the Mounties, and he moved into the starting spot, replacing Mike Lloyd. Now an empty backfield for Goodshield. Rolls to his left, squares his shoulders, throws underneath, and the pass a little bit too high.
Not sure who that was, so I guess it was
Grayson Cash was the intended receiver, but the Ruffers had
way overthrown.
Pretty good coverage, but perhaps it's just a safety toss that time.
Throwaway, I think you're right. That's the first incompletion tonight for Goodshield.
There's another penalty flag on the play. And they will back it up from the 20 to the 15.
So it must have been a procedure call of some kind.
So that'll take away the incomplete pass, and we'll replay first down. So now with the football at the 15-yard line in Rogers territory, Goodshield going to throw the quick out route underneath slant. Catch made it to 15, the 20, the 25, and up to the 27-yard line goes Finley Bunch. 5'9", $150 senior. He gets 11 from the 15 to the 26. Tion Brewer coming back to make the tackle. Now the Ropers have to go all the way to the 45-yard line. So it's second down and now 19. 2 wide receivers to the boundary left. Seldom Ridge straight back in the pocket, steps out to his right, now steps up in the pocket, wants to run, has time to come, gets a good block out on the edge, bounces off of a pushing type tackle, and is going to get close, if he didn't get it, to the first down marker. They'll say stepped out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Wow. One missed tackle, but pretty good running, and no one over there containing for the Ruffers, and that left a wide open field for Goodshield.
16-yard quarterback scamper by Noah Goodshield. So now it's a manageable 3rd down and 4. This will be the third down opportunity so far here in the first half. Clock stopped as Goodshield went out of bounds. Have to reach the 45 to move the chains. Shepard. Play action. Goodshield rolls again to his left, throws in space, has a receiver open, breaks the tackle. Guess who it is? Cade Seldom-Ridge off just a little bump and run coverage. That time the Ruffers, Martell Bolden is the guy that gets scorched. And this one goes the distance again. 58 yards for the touchdown.
Wow. That's the 3rd touchdown reception tonight for that pair. Goodshield to Seldom-Ridge.
Plus, he's got a punt return to go with it. 58-yard touchdown strike.
140 yards in receptions for Seldom-Ridge tonight.
This one just leaves you scratching your head and said, did I show up at the right stadium? Slaba will try the point after touchdown. He knocks it perfect. Timeout on the field. 9:54 left, first half. It is Rogers Mounties 42, Muskogee Ruffers 6. We're back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2021. Tradition, it's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton back with you, just trying to make some sort of common sense to what we've seen here in the first half. Ruffers have been torched for 42 points, 42-6, still with 9:54 to go in the second quarter.
Wow, it's just amazing.
Now Slaba to kick, a driving kick that he'll put this one in the end zone. It'll actually go out of the end zone on the touch. And the Ruffers will start from their own 20-yard line. But the combination Noah Goodshield to Cade Seldenridge has been the perfect combination. 3 touchdown passes. Seldenridge also with a punt return for a score. And it's a 42-6 deficit for the Ruffers here with 9:54 to go before halftime.
So you just kind of have to go shake your head and say, come on, guys. This is where we got to pull it together and get something, eat up some time if nothing else.
Well, your Ruffers so far are unsuccessful on 5 third-down conversions. Ficklin, counter, play action, wants to throw up the middle, has his receiver covered, now sets up and just launches one downfield. This one almost picked off. Isaiah Givens had stopped and then started again. The coverage that time by Connor Lawson. But that's one where the young freshman's going to have to learn, Nick. Just throw it in the direction of somebody and put it on the surf side where there's no chance for it to be picked off because that hung up there like a wounded duck.
And, yeah, he was under pressure through with people in his face and off his back foot. And like you said, that just hung up there, and Ruffers were fortunate.
So for as many advances of what the Ruffers made last week in their showing, they have taken that many steps in regression here tonight. Now Ficklin rolling left, being chased out of the pocket. Throws upfield, has a catch over on the boundary. Making the catch, Jaden Bell. He's to the 32-yard line. And that is a Jay Hodge, Muskogee Ruffer, first down and 10. First down of the night for the Ruffers. This one on a 12-yard pass completion.
Ficklin doubles his pass yardage with that one now. 24 yards throwing for the air. That's the second grab of the night by Bell.
Bell goes out of bounds. But they're going to say his knee went to the turf inbound, so the clock will continue to run. Rogers Mounties with a 42-6 advantage. Ficklin, motion, counter, play action again. Ficklin waits, throws in the direction of Bell, and the ball is knocked away. Good defensive coverage back upfield by Ty Cunningham. He just went up and over the top of Jaden Bell, and that's going to happen. But there is a flag down on the play. There may be pass interference called here on Cunningham.
Cunningham, I think, may have impeded the route to the ball a little bit by Bell, so we'll see here.
So that's the call, a 15-yard walk-off. So by penalty, the Ruffers will have a first down out at the 47-yard line. But Jaden Bell is listed at 5'8", Nick, and I think that's stretching the tape just a bit. But he was up against a 6-foot defensive back in Ty Cunningham. So now with 2 receivers to the short side left, 3 go wide right, empty backfield. Ficklin, play action. Throw the underneath screen intended for Gibbons, who was wanting to come upfield and didn't do the first thing you have to do in that type of situation, catch the football.
Got to look it in before you take off, and Isaiah looked up before he had it put away.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Ruffers. The clock stopping on the incomplete forward pass. Ruffer football this season brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy, by Runt's Barbecue, home of the Ruffer Coaches Show each and every Tuesday night at 6:30 to 7, by Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, and by Red Dirt Production Services. 2nd and 10 from the 47-yard line. Ficklin, little option, pitch it out on the edge. Anthony Watson, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, and finally going to be shoved out of bounds. Ruffers run the little last-second option and pitch to the Ant-Man, and he scampers wildly all the way to the 22-yard line. 31 yards on the carry for Anthony Watson, and a J. Hodge Chevrolet Cadillac Ruffer, first down and 10.
By far the best offensive play of the night for Muskogee.
So the football now in the scoring end of the field for the Ruffers. 22-yard line, first and 10. 8:55 left here in the first half. Ficklin this time with Watson to his right. Bring McGee in motion. They'll counter, give it off to Watson again. Has the crease. He's inside the 20 and falls forward downfield to the 16-yard line. 6-yard pickup on first down. A little bit better execution here, Nick, on this series.
Good counterplay that time. That pivot by Ficklin kind of freezes those linebackers for just a second and hides the ball as well. So Watson with a nice run to hit the crease and get 6.
Todd, Gibbons, and Bell are the wide receiver package to the boundary wide right. Ficklin takes the snap, pressure up the middle, throw it underneath to Anthony Watson, but he's quickly blanketed by 2 blue-shirted defenders. Jacob Jenkson and Ashton Alston, the 2 linebackers, they just knew exactly where Watson would be. He'll lose yardage back upfield to the 17, so a loss of 1. Another third down for the Ruffers, who so far this will be number 6, and they're yet to convert here.
Gotta get something done. You just got to have a score here.
Caden McGee will be the single receiver. Now Bell will come and join him along with Gibbons. Empty backfield, Ficklin has some time, scrambles, trying to avoid pressure, and he has no place to go and lost the football. They're going to call him down in the grasp.
They may call an incomplete pass.
No, that went backwards. It can't be a forward pass.
Unless they say his arm was going forward. Let's see. That's what the official was kind of motioning like.
I think they're going to blow this one dead back at the 30, and then there comes a intentional grounding penalty that's going to be called against the Ruffers because Ficklin was between the tackles.
Yep, that's what it's going to be.
That's the call. Mounties brought pressure. Ruffer offensive line did not respond. Ficklin had no place to go, and then he tried to just manufacture something, and he not only loses yardage from the 17 back to the 30, that's a loss of 13, but then a 5-yard penalty for intentional grounding and loss of down. So now it is 4th down at the 35-yard line. Ruffers have 4th and 23. Have to go to the 12. 2 wide receivers to the boundary right. Ficklin back to Bell. Looking to throw back to the Birdman. They throw it wide. Ficklin had no place to go because once he made the catch, he just got lit up like a Christmas light bulb. Isaac Chapman, the sophomore middle linebacker, coming in to stop Ficklin back upfield at the 40-yard line, and the Ruffers turn it over on downs.
Well, tried a little razzle-dazzle, but again, the Ruffers kind of fortunate that Ficklin held on to that because as soon as he received that pass from Bell, there was people in his face, and as it ends up, he loses, 6 yards?
Lost 6 yards, so the Mounties will take over with 7 minutes and 24 seconds to go before halftime. They have had what you call their cake and eat it too. Offense, defense, special teams, just near perfect performance or totally unsatisfactory effort on the part of the Ruffers here tonight from the 41-yard line. Ropers with the football. A little counter step, a little delay in the snap. This is going to be a 5-yard walk-off for illegal procedure against Rogers. Rogers Mounties 1-0 on the season, Nick, after their 51-40 victory in game number 1 over Siloam Springs. Had their contest that was scheduled for last week at Stillwell canceled due to COVID. So this is only the second game. It's the 3rd week in a row for the Ruffers. 1st and 15. Hand the football off. Shepard coming left, breaks out of a tackle, hit it about the 40-yard line, and Ruffers this time get over there. Jaron Riggs-Brown coming across the field to stop that one for a gain of 4 from the 36 upfield to the 40. Clock running with 6:50 to go before halftime. Ruffers have just been battered and bruised. 3 wide receivers to the wide side right. Goodshield in the pocket, dancing around, trying to find a way to run. Now sees a lane. He'll run on his own. Change of direction. Be close if he doesn't have it and will have the first down marker. Now the pass coverage just ran everybody off that far side, and Good Shield reading it, Nick. And he takes it all the way to the 49-yard line in rougher territory. That's good enough for a first down.
14 yards on the scamper by Good Shield.
The Mounties, again, on the move. Seldomridge and Bunch are the two receivers to the wide side left. Ball resting on the right hash. The counter, give it up the middle. Shepard slicing back to his right. He'll dance his way inside the 45 to the 43, getting 6 on the first down carry. 2nd down and 4. Halftime cannot get here fast enough for this Rougher football team because they have been mistreated. You might say that with an understatement.
Not much
tone of
southern
sarcasm.
hospitality here tonight.
Certainly not. 2 wide receivers to the boundary, short left. This time, bootleg. Good Shield's going to throw the ball downfield. Again, has a receiver open and unable to hold on to the football was Finley Bunch. But the defender in coverage that was out there for Muskogee. Yeah, it's Jaden Swanson. Kind of got turned around, Nick, but he adjusted to the football at the last minute and knocked it down. So it's a 3rd down situation. Mounties are 2 for 3 so far.
That's the first incompletion now for Good Shield in 12 tries.
3rd down and 4. Have to go to the 39. This time Shepard to the right of Good Shield. He'll take the snap. Set back in the pocket, dance around, trying to find a way to come to the corner. Has the edge, 40, 35, and downfield to the 33-yard line before, again, the Ruffers' secondary has to come up and make the stop. And there to make the tackle, again, Jaron Riggs-Brown. But not before Good Shield dances and weaves his way to the 32-yard line. Good enough for another first down and 10.
11 yards on the carry. That gives Shepard now 24 yards on the night rushing. He had that one loss, remember, of 13 yards in the first quarter.
So the Mounties of Rogers High School have executed near perfection on the offensive side. Good Shield. Going to roll to his left. Now we'll have a roll to blockers at the 35, at the 20. Still on his feet, broke a tackle, lost the football. It'll roll into the end zone, but they're going to now say that Good Shield stepped out of bounds back upfield at the 18-yard line. Tempers get a little bit short as players exchange a few words. They'll say that Good Shield stepped out of bounds at the 18-yard line. But, Nick, he came to the edge looking to throw and had no place to go. And so he said, load them up, boys, let's run. And downfield they went all the way to the 18-yard line.
So that's
14
on that carry.
This will be the 7th play in this drive that started at the Rogers 41-yard line. 4:52 in the clock running. Rogers trying to add yet another score. Trips go wide to the right. Empty backfield for Good Shield. Rolling to his right. Wants to throw back. Wide open in the end zone. Uncovered totally. Jansen Garner. Just an easy pitch and catch. And an 18-yard touchdown strike. Good Shield to Garner. It's 48-0 with a PAT to follow.
Wow, Good Shield's having himself a night, to say the least. Puts him over 200 yards passing now tonight.
Jansen Garner and his older brother Joel Garner. Kind of that family connection here. And Slaba will be on to try his 7th point after touchdown. Kicks away, and it's perfect, and there's timeout on the field. 4:37 to go before halftime. 49-6. Rogers all over the Ruffers when we return in 30 seconds on Rougher Football 2021.
The Muskogee Athletic Department would like to recognize its proud Rougher Athletics sponsors: Armstrong Bank, Oklahoma Army National Guard, Arvest Bank, Chick-fil-A Muskogee, Neighbors Building Neighborhoods, St. Francis Muskogee, Tommy Nix Auto Group, Springs Skilled Nursing and Therapy. Go Ruffers!
Welcome back on Rougher TV. Rougher Football in 2021 brought to you by My Place Barbecue West, home of the all-you-can-eat ribs on Friday and Saturday night. Make your place My Place Barbecue West. By Cornerstone Funeral Home, by Bravado Wireless, Pioneer Abstract, and by Mike Finnerty, Attorney at Law. 49-6, Rogers. A career night for Noah Goodshield. And Slaber this time on a knuckly-type kick has it bound, and Jaden Bell going to pick it up at about the 2, trying to find some place to run. And, again, Bell should have just let it go in the end zone. Yeah, I don't want to just sit here and be too critical, Nick, but that's one of those situations, the way that ball's bouncing around, see if it'll go in the end zone. And instead of picking it up at the 1, as a result, he gets out to the 8-yard line.
So the Roughers again operate in the shadow of their own goalpost as they start this drive.
Muskogee had very high hopes of coming across the state line and taking home their first win of the season. They have been rudely greeted by their host here at Whitey Smith Stadium.
Less than 100 yards in offense tonight so far for the Roughers.
1st and 10 from the 8-yard line. Ficklin bringing Caden McGee in motion. Roughers here, they'll get a penalty because 2 guys went in motion at the same time. McGee takes the snap. That'll be illegal motion. It'll be half the distance to the goal line.
And those are just the kind of penalties that you really don't expect to be seeing by the 3rd game of the season.
Well, not to point out, Nick, but that flag was thrown on Isaiah Gibbons, and this is his first game. But still, the penalty flag will be half the distance to the goal line, so put the ball back at the 4. Serpro Muskogee, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, Nissan of Muskogee. Go by and see Stouty on Saturday if you're looking for a good deal on a car. Greg Stout and the team at Nissan of Muskogee, proud to help you and proud to help the Roughers. 1st and 14. Ficklin drops the snap, picks it up, hands it off to Watson, and he did good to get out of the end zone and get back to about the 2. So a loss of 2 yards. So right now, Nick, this is one of those where you've just got to maintain your concentration because you're close to your own goal line in a safety situation or even worse. 2nd down, have to go to the 18, so it's 2nd and 16. Ficklin finding out what it's like to be a rookie on the high school level. Ficklin this time, little swing route out to Gibbons at the 5, change of directions at that yard line, and then actually changed hands with possession from the right to the left hand, and you kind of had to hold your breath that the ball didn't tumble out. The gain will be 7 yards on the pass play. And the Roughers will be, again, facing a 3rd down. Their 7th 3rd down opportunity of the first half, and so far they are unsuccessful on the 6 previous tries.
3rd and 9 here for Muskogee from their own 9. Got to get it out to the 18.
Clock showing 2:27 to go before halftime. Bell, Gibbons, and McGee are the 3 receivers wide to the left as the ball rests on the right hash mark. Ficklin in the pocket, sets up across the middle, high, catch is made at the 23, and the forward progress should be to the 25-yard line. But Jaden Bell, don't tell me no, he says. He makes the catch, and the catch will be upfield to the 25-yard line. That's a 16-yard pass play, and a J-Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee Rougher 1st down and 10, and even better, the first 3rd down conversion of the night.
Nice conversion, and that kind of keeps the clock running. That's what the Roughers want to do here.
Clock goes under 2 minutes here in the first half.
Let's get off the field and regroup.
49-6, Rogers. Ficklin, waist-high snap, protection, throws underneath, catch made over on the edge, trying to get out of bounds, but unable to do so is Jaden Bell. That's been kind of the target man for Ficklin. Bell will get from the 25 to the 31, pick of 6 before Chapman makes the stop for the Mounties. Bell will be by himself this time, Nick. He'll be the single receiver to the boundary, short side left. Ficklin, play action. Want to throw a little wheel route out to Watson at the 35, and Anthony twisting and driving in those thunder thighs up to the 39-yard line. That'll be an 8-yard pass play and another J. Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee Rougher. First down and 10 with 1:10 to go before halftime. The clock stops on the play.
Now the Roughers finding a little rhythm with those little short passes, 6-7 yards instead of trying to go down the middle for 15 or 20.
Well, credit the defensive staff of the Mounties for doing a pretty good job of taking the Roughers out of what they do best. Ficklin this time, again, going to throw it out in the edge to Bell. He'll shake and bake, use his juice across the 40, 45, spins at the 50-yard line and goes down at that spot. They should start, they're going to keep it in bounds. Now a timeout signaled to make sure that they do get the gain, and they do, a 10-yard pass play. So it'll be to near midfield with 36 seconds left to go here in the opening 2 quarters of this nightmare is the best way I can call it, 2 quarters of play.
That's very true.
Timeout going to be taken by Muskogee. So with a timeout on the field, gives us a chance to remind our listeners that when you need insurance, and that's what the Roughers are going to be looking for, some coverage in the halftime talks. When you need insurance, whether it's for your car, your home, your health, your life, your business, call on the insurance professional, your fast, fair, friendly State Farm insurance agent, David Cobb. He's ready and waiting to serve your insurance needs. Give him a dial up on Monday, 918-682-2511. But, Nick, I don't know that I've seen a Rougher football team this embarrassed, and I guess is the polite thing to say, here in the first half, because the first quarter was just, I don't know what the name of that street is, Nightmare on Dixieland Avenue, maybe.
Yeah, it's been a tough road. The offense now finding a little rhythm with those short passes. Ficklin's hit his last 6 in a row.
Todd Gibbons and Bell are wide to the left. The freshman left-handed quarterback sets up, wants to throw deep downfield, has a receiver out there, and the ball is knocked away from behind. This time trying to go to Gibbons was Ficklin, and good catch-up defensive coverage that time out of the secondary. Damon Volk, the senior, who head coach Chad Harbison describes as the hitter in the box. Kind of referring to a baseball analogy, but he refers to the physical style of play of his cornerback on that side. Incomplete, stops the clock with 21 seconds to go before intermission. Todd Gibbons and Bell again will be the 3-man set to the boundary wide left. Ficklin will set up underneath screen to Watson at the 50, trying to find blockers, just can't find anybody. And he'll stumble his way downfield to the 48-yard line. But again, Nick, one of those curses that you see running backs too often fall into. Instead of just going straight north and south, you kind of sidestep to your left or to your right to the boundary. Gain of 3 yards on the pass play. And the Roughers can't get another snap away before intermission. And we'll go to the locker room glad that this 24 minutes of frustration is done. Rogers on top of Muskogee. It has been all blue and white tonight here at Whitey Smith Stadium. 49-6. Rogers Mounties leading the Muskogee Roughers. We're back after this 3-minute timeout on Rougher TV.
It's a time when uncertainty spreads faster than understanding. It's also a time when taking steps to prepare can help us all find a sense of security. At ServPro, helping our nation's homes, businesses, and shared spaces be more clean, be more safe, is why we're here. Here in your community, here to help.
Red Dirt Production Services proudly supports the Muskogee Roughers. Productivity in the oil and gas industry requires every member of the team to know their job and do it to the best of their abilities. Just like in football, teamwork is a #1 priority, and that's the mission of Red Dirt Production Services, serving the oil and gas industry through roustabout and well pumping services, along with environmental remediation and pipeline construction. Proud to join forces with the Roughers to win every day the Muskogee way. Red Dirt Production Services says, go Roughers!
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
A savings update from Jay and Rick.
If you need cash, where do you go?
The ATM.
Exactly. The August Trade Marathon at J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee.
Selling your car, make or model, doesn't matter.
If it runs, we've got the funds. Count on ATM.
Always the max.
If you're shopping and don't see the vehicle you want on our lot,
it might already be on the way. Log on today.
Shop and buy online.
Get delivered first.
At J. Hodge Chevrolet of Muskogee.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
As a part of Rougher Football each week, we try to take a look at some of the other sports going on at the Muskogee High School campus, and one that is drawing a lot of attention from the student body as well as the athletes is volleyball. And with me is the head coach of Muskogee Volleyball, John Hammer. 17 years. There's been quite a difference in the landscape of volleyball at Muskogee from your first year to today.
Yeah, we've really come a long way as far as just numbers and competing at 6A level, and the kids come out. We had about 85 tryout total this year, so that was a good number to have.
It is nice to have those numbers, but like you were saying, this year's squad is still quite young.
Very young. Started freshmen, 3 sophomores. 85% of the JV also plays varsity, so we're double dipping them, so they're getting some good experience.
John, what's been the biggest cause for the resurgence or the growth of the volleyball program at Muskogee? I know a lot of your kids participate during the summer and off-season in club ball.
Just club itself, statewide it's growing huge. Oklahoma City, Tulsa's got huge clubs. Some of our kids go up there that can go up there. But just watching it on TV and, watching the Olympics this year kind of got people fired up.
From the casual observer to volleyball, I mean, I understand it. You knock it over the net and they try to knock it back and you block it or kill it, as you say, to score a point. But what are the different parts of the volleyball game that maybe the casual observer doesn't understand that are key to success?
Just the substitution rules, what you can and can't do, and the libero rule. And a lot of people ask me why this kid doesn't play here or there, and you just have to understand that you don't get free reign of subs. You have a certain number, and they can only go in certain spots.
And they have to rotate, too. I mean, you're not going to always just have your tallest kids right there on the front line. They've got to rotate through this player rotation.
Yes, and we're not very tall to begin with, so, 5'4" against 6'2" is not a very good chore sometimes, but it is what it is, so we go battle.
Certainly Frontier Conference competition prepares you for the stiffest competition there is once you get to the postseason.
Yeah, if you can compete in our conference at a high level, anybody, you have a chance to win state. I mean, it's that simple.
Talk to me a little bit about looking down the road. I know you've got some key matches coming up here in the next few days, but as you look on toward the end of the season, what's it going to take for the Lady Roughers to maybe get past that first match in regionals, and then who knows what happens?
They just have to grow up real fast. Like I said, we're young, we're short, so they just have to learn to play bigger than they are or faster than they have been. We found out the other day against 6'3" Bartlesville, Reagan got blocked quite a few times, and she got a little frustrated, but we just have to understand they're not getting any shorter. Jinx is going to be big, Union's going to be big, Owasso is going to be big, and we just have to go battle.
Like we said, a lot of your kids are young, but I know you're very proud of what the commitments of these banners of the 5 seniors behind us, what they've contributed during their careers.
Yes, absolutely. Jazzy's been a starter since her freshman year. Gracie's coming back from a knee injury, and she's kind of battled that knee injury this year a couple of times. Callie's in crutches right now with torn ligaments in her foot. So they've really worked hard. Layla's worked hard, and they've all just done a good job.
I know that you kind of relate to some of the issues that Coach Hill has been going through with injuries because you've had those for yourself. But looking ahead, I mean, what's the optimistic viewpoint for Rougher volleyball?
Just keep growing and keep working hard. And we understand that we're in the toughest conference in Oklahoma, and we understand that we don't have the numbers that those schools have to participate. So we just have to keep working hard and believe in ourselves and getting these kids to come out here and battle every day.
And just like when the Roughers play at Indian Bowl, it's great to have a good number of people on the bleachers. This place, if the volleyball gym was rocking the last time you were on the home floor.
The football team really did an outstanding job, and in student body as well, but a lot of the football team was here in their jerseys, and this gym echoes real well, so when they get loud, it gets really fun, just a good environment.
So it's still an exciting place to be, Rougher volleyball.
Absolutely. I love it.
John Hammer, the head coach of Muskogee Volleyball, talking about this season's outlook. We'll continue with more of our coverage of Rougher football after this timeout.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
There's an old school way of doing business here at James Hodge Ford. Exceptional service, a firm handshake, and the best price around on a new Ford vehicle. Of course, don't forget our Hodge promise to you, our customer, that's stronger than oak. That's just a great way of doing business.
The James Hodge Ford promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee. Online at hodgeford.com.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Welcome back to Whitey Smith Stadium in Rogers, Arkansas. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton here with you at the half. Hurricane Ida ripped through the southern part of the United States and then on up into the Northeast. Nick, I think the Roughers got 2 doses of Hurricane Rogers.
What a great
segue in the first half, because this one has just been a onslaught of bad things happening to the Muskogee Roughers, and at halftime they find themselves looking for the training staff. Hey, Dr. Leo, I hurt because we're behind 49-6.
Taking a look at the stats in the first half, Roughers ran 31 plays in that first half compared to 38 for Rogers. 6 first downs for Muskogee, 11 rushes for 63 yards for the Roughers, 10 of 19 passing with an interception for Ficklin, and that was good for 73 yards. So the Roughers have 136 yards in offense in this first half. 6 penalties. That's the ones that were taken. There were probably another 6 that were called that weren't taken by Rogers that resulted in long plays. So 60 yards in penalties for Muskogee, all big ones. For Rogers, 14 rushes for 88 yards, and we really expected that to be kind of the bread and butter of the Mounties was the running of Shepherd, but they've run a fairly well-balanced attack so far. 14 rushes for 88 yards, 12 of 13 passing tonight for Good Shield, 204 yards, so 286 yards in total offense for Rogers here in this first half, plus a gob of touchdowns, and 4 penalties for 40 yards for the Mounties.
The individual hero has to be the quarterback. Noah Goodshield. In the first half, Nick, he throws 5 touchdown passes. The playmaker has to be Cade Seldenridge. He's got 3 touchdown receptions plus a punt return of 56 yards. Add to that the defense that held the Ruffers to just 1 of 7 on third down tries, and that first down didn't really come till late. The conversion on third down didn't really come late in the second quarter. It has been all blue and white here tonight, 49-6. Goodshield hit Seldenridge on a 46-yard pass play on the first series that went 4 plays, 65 yards to make it 7-0. After a 3-and-out, the ball taken over at their own 4-yard line. The Mounties put together a 9-play drive, finishing it off with Goodshield throwing to Kinley Bunch on a 6-yard reception to make it 14-0. Then after a 3-and-out, the Ruffers, Jamarian Bird Ficklin punts the ball. Seldenridge fields it at his 44, picks up a wall of blockers in front of his own sideline, and scampers untouched to the end zone from 56 yards out. And with 4:45 left in the opening quarter, it was 21-0. Then after another 3-and-empty for the Ruffers, it is a 29-yard scoring toss, Goodshield to Seldenridge. And then the Ruffers get it back, and Ficklin throws the INT, picked off by Mabry Versey, who scampers 20 yards for the score. And with 40 seconds left to go in the first 12 minutes, it was 35-0 in favor of Rogers. Then tipping over into the second quarter, when Rogers has the football, Goodshield with perhaps his only blemish of the night, really not his fault because the defender, or the intended receiver, tipped the ball up in the air, but credit Keandre John's focus. He grabs it out of midair and scampers down the Ruffer sideline, 44 yards with the pick-6 score. It's 35-6 at that point with 11:08 to go before halftime. But then, as they had been doing in the first half, passing game. Goodshield to Seldenridge, 58 yards, capping a 3-play, 65-yard drive, 42-6. Then with 4:14 left to go before halftime, it's Goodshield to Jansen Garner on an 18-yard scoring strike, capping a 7-play, 59-yard drive, and it's 49-6 here at the half. Ruffers in the dressing room looking for tape, looking for bandages, and looking for some way to shake out the cobwebs and refocus for the final 2 quarters of play. It's going to be a big mountain to climb because the Mounties of Rogers here on their Hall of Fame night are having a Hall of Fame performance in the opening 2 quarters. 49-6 is our halftime score. We're going to take this 2-minute timeout and return to Whitey Smith Stadium on Ruffer Football 2021.
Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
There has never been a better time to buy than now. Drive a little, save a lot at Nissan of Muskogee Ultimate Used Car Sales Event. Save thousands now on all in-stock models. Come see us today at Nissan of Muskogee. Online at nissanofmuskogee.com. nissanofmuskogee.com. That's right, nissanofmuskogee.com. Use your cell phone, tablet, computer, we don't care. Just shop our huge selection of new and used online and then just pick, click, and drive. Why wait? It's that easy. Log on today at nissanofmuskogee.com.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
The Muskogee Athletic Department would like to recognize its proud Rougher Athletics sponsors: Armstrong Bank, Oklahoma Army National Guard, Arvest Bank, Chick-fil-A Muskogee, Neighbors Building Neighborhoods, St. Francis Muskogee, Tommy Nix Auto Group, Springs Skilled Nursing and Therapy. Go Roughers!
Welcome back to Whitey Smith Stadium in Rogers, Arkansas. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and our Rougher TV crew bring you the sights and sounds of tonight's action. And it has been a Hall of Fame performance by the guys in the blue and white, as they have just hammered the Roughers on every faction of the game and lead a 49-6 halftime scoreboard. Some scores from 6A2 on this official week number 2. Putnam City West, the Roughers' next opponent 2 weeks from tonight. At Guthrie, that game is tied 7-7 in the second quarter. Ponca City routing McLean, and that's not Putnam City. Okay, yeah, that's Putnam City North, and Guthrie tied 7-7. Ponca City 37, McLean nothing. Capitol Hill and U.S. Grant, two wannabe football programs. Capitol Hill with a 20-16 halftime advantage. Choctaw went south of the Red River against Dallas Jesuit tonight, as the Jackets try to go 3-0, and they're locked up in a Donnybrook 22-22. That's a halftime score. We mentioned the Roughers 49-6 shellacking here tonight in Rogers. Sapulpa with a 6-point halftime lead over Bartlesville 20-14. Putnam City West taking on their cross-district rival, the original Putnam City, and the Pirates are having no problems with the Patriots, as PCO leads at 41-6 at halftime. Midwest City leading Noble 7-6. MacArthur leading Lawton 14-7. Del City leading Midwest City Carl Albert 21-13. And here's a good one: Mustang and Stillwater 14-13. That's in the third quarter. So, Nick, the Roughers first half, you just have to go in the dressing room, take your pads off, get dressed again, walk over to the facilities and just vomit, because that's pretty way the first two quarters went, really, and hope that you can come out and play with a little bit better success, trailing 49-6 here at half.
Some of the other scores tonight: the big boys in 6A1, Owasso leading Broken Arrow 14-0. Jinx in the Backyard Bowl ahead of Union 15-0. That game close to halftime. And in 4A, Fort Gibson ahead of Catoosa 45-7. McAllister and Ada knotted up at 7 apiece. Hilldale leads Shakota 14-0. And Wagner trying to rebound from their loss against Coweta, leading Tahlequah 14-7 this evening.
Potack. That's the game being played tonight at in Ada between the Cougars and the Buffaloes.
I got you.
I'm going to tell you, if you think back to your days of OU and Notre Dame and the OPOTFI.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you can put the same connotation to those initials. Potack, from a McAllister standpoint, has an entirely different meaning than what it has for Ada football. I can tell you. There's something about on the Ada Cougars versus powerful, optimistic, and triumphant Ada Cougars. It just depends whether you're wearing black and gold or you're wearing maroon and white. I can tell you my bride, who is a graduate of McAllister High School, has a certain flavor that she prefers in that contest. And, boy, I tell you what, I'd like to have a little POTFI here for the Roughers in the second half, because they have just been spanked tonight by a very energetic group of Mounties. Rogers, after a week off, totally different offensive scheme than what they ran in the first contest 2 weeks ago against Siloam Springs, in which they won that game 51-40. So, Nick, in a game and a half, they put 100 points on the scoreboard. That's pretty successful offense, whether you're running it or whether you're throwing it, as quarterback Noah Goodshield in the first half with 5 touchdown passes. And Cade Seldenbridge with 3 touchdowns on the receiving end, plus a punt return for 6.
Well, Shepard got all the headlines in that first game as he ran for 402 yards. But tonight it's been a much more balanced effect, and as you said, it's really been Goodshield and the receiver that have just been the headliners tonight for the Mounties.
We're going to take a quick timeout and come back for the start of the second half. We'll take a 2-minute timeout on our Rougher football broadcast tonight from Whitey Smith Stadium in Rogers, Arkansas. We're at halftime. It's the Mounties 49, the Ruffers 6. We're back in 2 minutes. This is Rougher Football 2021.
It's a time when uncertainty spreads faster than understanding. It's also a time when taking steps to prepare can help us all find a sense of security. At ServPro, helping our nation's homes, businesses, and shared spaces be more clean, be more safe, is why we're here. Here in your community, here to help.
Red Dirt Production Services proudly supports the Muskogee Ruffers. Productivity in the oil and gas industry requires every member of the team to know their job and do it to the best of their abilities. Just like in football, teamwork is a #1 priority, and that's the mission of Red Dirt Production Services, serving the oil and gas industry through roustabout and well pumping services, along with environmental remediation and pipeline construction. Proud to join forces with the Ruffers to win every day the Muskogee way. Red Dirt Production Services says, "Go Ruffers."
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota, and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Well, as the music being played in the background kind of gives you a rev of the engines, Nick, the Ruffers return to the field looking to find some quick start energy, and they will need that. But fortunately, having deferred the choice to the second half, the Ruffers will have the first opportunity with the football here to begin the third quarter.
We'll see if they can get some momentum of some kind going. They had a little spark there late in the first half as they ran off 2 or 3 first downs and used a little short passing game to move the ball down the field from the 25 up to midfield before the clock ran out on them at halftime. So maybe that will be more of what we see in this second half so far, is just use that little short passing game and get it in the hands of Bell and Watson and some of those guys on the outside and let them rumble with the ball after the catch.
Muskogee Ruffers will be moving from our left to right or from north to south here at Whitey Smith Stadium. Beautiful facility. Outstanding press box facilities too, Nick.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
K.O. Slaba will put the toe into it, and he'll just knock this one about 9 yards deep in the end zone. So the Ruffers will begin their first offensive series starting from their own 20-yard line. 49-6. Talk about hard to imagine, but what a dramatic comeback it would be if you could get this one back to a one-possession game, or possibly dream of just a total turnaround.
Yeah.
So the Ruffers will come to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10. Watson will be to the left of freshman quarterback Jamarian Ficklin. Play action, quick out route, out on the edge, and ball is just dropped by Isaiah Givens. Just skipped right off the fingertips, incomplete. Givens, of course, back to action. He was under the concussion protocols the first couple of weeks of the season. Last week, Tion Brewer was out for the same cause. It is expected that Brandon Tolbert will return to the Ruffer roster and action 2 weeks from tonight at PC West, along with Walker Newton. Ficklin in the gun. Under pressure, throws in the flat. Watson with the grab at the 20 and lowers his shoulder and ran over a would-be tackler. The guy that has been everywhere defensively, Marion Slayton, knocking Watson to the turf right at the 25. So the Ruffers will face a third down, their 8th of the contest. Slater along with Cunningham given the credit on that stop.
5th reception of the night by Watson coming out of the backfield to take those little short passes.
Well, now an empty formation with Caden McGee, Isaiah Gibbons, and Blade Todd, a tight end to the right. A little quarterback draw, and Ficklin just looked like he wanted to run and then got punished and then got stood over and prayed over by the linebacker, Marion Slayton. And that was a tongue-in-cheek reference there, Nick, because he kind of stood over and kind of flexed his muscles. And Birdman goes down for a 6-yard loss, and it's another 3 and out here for the offense tonight. 1 for 8.
Wow. So the Ruffers are going to have to punt the ball away again. That first down drop by Gibbons proved costly because he had about 5 or 6 yards easily if he'd caught that.
Finley Bunch will be the man back deep as a high snap that Ficklin gets it away, kicks it at an angle away from the return man, and it'll stay on the painted sideline, and the side judge will come over and put his right foot at the 46-yard line in Rogers territory.
35-yard punt by Ficklin. So pretty good field position to start off their first possession for the Mounties here in the second half.
You may be saying, Jamarian Ficklin doing the punting. Where is Skylar Winbear? Well, medical reasons he did not make the trip tonight. 1st and 10 for the Mounties. Their first touch of the second half. Good shield this time with Shepard to his right. Hand off to Shepard, dancing through the line of scrimmage contact and upfield from the 46 to about the 40. Going to be about a 4-yard pickup.
Right at midfield, nose of the ball touching.
Ruffers have an injured player kind of bent over who made the tackle. That was Devin Whitfield, and he'll be replaced over here on the edge defensively. 2nd and 6. Again, give it to Shepard. From behind, going to be taken to the turf. Ruffers that time stood it up at the line of scrimmage, and then the backside wall came tumbling down and in a hurry. As there to make the stop, Tion Brewer, the young sophomore who did not play last week. The 6'3", 230-pound sophomore, great potential. A lot of athleticism in that young man. Loss of a yard on the play. So it'll be a third down, the 5th of the night. Opportunity for the Mounties. Have to go to the 44, so 3rd and 7. Shield Knight back in the pocket, going to throw a wheel route down the boundary, just past the defender at the 10, still on his feet, dragging a tackler into the end zone. Same result as the first half. Wheel route to the backside, and Finley Bunch on the receiving end. What is a 51-yard touchdown strike, the 6th touchdown toss, but there is laundry. Thank you, Jesus. It would be the Ruffer defensive coach is saying there. An eligible man downfield is going to wipe out a 51-yard touchdown toss. That'll back it up 5 and force the Mounties to reload the third down play call.
Well, the Ruffer secondary has really taken a beating tonight. Just about every pass that Shield Knight has thrown.
And Nick, the thing that concerns me is these aren't big receivers. 5'7", 150, 5'9", 150, 6'3", 170. And 6'1", 150. Empty backfield, good shield, time to look, looking to run, scampers to his left, throws upfield, had a receiver at the sticks at the 45. Now, where are they going to say he stepped out of bounds? He's going to get a generous home field spot. And now the line judge is going to walk back and put it at the 45. So from the 44 on one end, 6 plus 5, that's 11. They needed 12. Should be 4th down. 4th and a yard.
Yeah, it is.
4th and 1 for the Mounties.
PA, man, forgot that minus 1 yard loss on 2nd down. So now they'll look to the sideline. Mounties said, it's our night. We're going to enjoy this one. And now a timeout taken by the coaching staff. Chad Harbison says, let's think about it. leading 49-6. No reason to take too big a risk, and we'll take a timeout with the teams. 49-6 Rogers having their way with the Ruffers tonight here in Arkansas. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching and listening to Ruffer Football 2021.
A savings update from Jay and Rick.
If you need cash, where do you go?
The ATM.
Exactly. The August Trade Marathon at J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee.
Selling your car, make or model, doesn't matter.
If it runs, we've got the funds. Count on ATM.
Always the max.
If you're shopping and don't see the vehicle you want on our lot,
it might already be on the way. Log on today.
Shop and buy online.
Get delivered first.
At J. Hodge Chevrolet of Muskogee.
Welcome back to Rogers, Arkansas. 7:20 to play here in the first part of the third quarter. 49-6. It's fourth and a yard to go for the Mounties. They're going to come out of this timeout with a play call. Motion across the formation. Direct snap. Bad snap. Loose on the field. Scramble for it, and the Ruffers will get the football.
They were all offsides on that.
Yeah, they were trying to have a kind of a direct snap to the man in motion. But there to pick up the football was one of our previous defensive players of the game, Deshaun Smith. And that's just a bust on the part of the Mounties, and the Ruffers get something to come their way. They'll take over at the 48-yard line now with 6 minutes and 53 seconds left to play in quarter number 3.
About time we got a break, I'd say.
Indeed. Jaden Bell, Isaiah Gibbons will be two receivers as the ball rests on the right hash mark, split wide to the left. Caden McGee across the formation. Counter. Ficklin in the pocket. Scampers to his left, changes direction, comes back to his right, trying to find someplace to run. He'll be ushered out of bounds, and then last-second push from behind by the defenders of the Rogers defensive core. Ficklin will get credit to the 48-yard line. So all in all, a 4-yard scramble for a positive pickup. Ruffers' third straight game. Will have a week to rest up, heal their wounds, their emotions, and start preparation for the district 2 weeks from tonight on the road at PC West. McGee, and again in motion, goes behind Ficklin this time, hands off to Watson, and coming from behind was the linebacker again, Marion Slayton, and he did grab the jersey of Watson. Some might have thought that was a horse collar penalty there, Nick, that could have been called, but really all in all it kind of goes as just an aggressive tackle, loss of 2 on the play.
Second running loss in a row for Watson as he's been brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Doesn't seem to be quite as nimble foot tonight as he was a week ago.
He's only got 40 yards rushing.
Trips to the boundary, short side right, 2 wide receivers to the left, so it'll be an empty backfield. And the Ruffers want to make sure they got the right play call here on a 3rd down and a timeout on the field. 5:08 left to go. Quarter number 3. Rogers 49, Muskogee 6. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2021.
Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton, and our Ruffer TV crew. 3-member crew tonight. Bree Gialetti, Mallory Gardner, and producing the game at this point, Mad Dog Madison Grayson, who's responsible for our pregame cheese pizza. 3rd down and 8 yards to go. Ficklin, quick out, looking to go up the seam. Bell is out there, and the receiver face guarding him on the play was Finley Bunch, and Bell just could not drag it in.
Again, that's a kind of an example of the taller guy just getting in the way, and the shorter guy couldn't see the ball till it was right on top of him.
So the Ruffers are now 1 for 10, Nick, on the night on 3rd down chances. 49-6. 4th down and 8 yards to go with the ball right at midfield. Ruffers have extra blocking backs in. That's Givens and Watson. And then Jaden Bell jumps offside across the way.
I don't know what that was all about.
I really don't either, because perhaps he lost his concentration because of a late substitution in the defensive front as Colin Jones came running onto the field at the last minute.
After the penalty, brings up
And a 5-yard walk-off now makes it 4th down and 13, and Ficklin will stand about 6 yards deep. Hard count. Now he'll step back. Bird will take the waist-high snap, put it up high into the night air. It back spins and rolls back out of bounds at the 31-yard line in Rogers territory.
Fickler's punt goes out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
25-yard punt. No return. And the Ruffers, again, on now 2 chances here in the second half, have gone 3 and out again.
So let's see what the Mounties are going to do here now. I would expect we would see a bit of Shepard and maybe start seeing some substitutes into the game.
Noah Goodshield, who's got
Goodshield and Shepard both still there.
A Hall of Fame performance tonight. He'll hand it off to Shepard coming right. Has a wall of blockers on the edge. There's flags everywhere. There's
holding there.
Yeah, that time the guy out on the edge just got 2 handfuls of the rougher defender, Devin Whitfield, who was trying to get upfield. The blocker just was outmatched physically that time and had nothing to do but grab a piece of that white jersey and hold on for dear life. Flag was thrown right about the line of scrimmage. Holding is the call.
6th call.
Yeah, I think there was an illegal motion call and then a holding penalty. They'll decline the 5-yarder and they'll keep the 10-yarder and back it up from the spot of the foul. Nick, it'll actually be an 11-yard loss back to the 20. Clock running with 3:07 to play here in the third. Mounties. This time we'll give it to Shepard. Slicing straight ahead. Mid-out, head on. Ruffers defender was right in the running lane. And there to make the big play defensively was Logan Elmore, the 170-pound senior who's in at middle linebacker, stopping Shepard after a 3-yard gain.
Caught Shepard right in mid-cut that time as he was trying to cut outside, and Elmore nailed him.
So now Noah Goodshield. Converted all-conference wide receiver. Done a pretty good job tonight at quarterback. Takes the snap, kind of bobbles it. This one's tipped up in the air. Whitfield got his hands up and slapped at it, kind of like volleyball style fashion. John Hammer might like that type of defensive play. Knocking it to the ground, incomplete. So the Mounties for the 6th time tonight. Only the 6th time, Nick, facing a 3rd down. That tells you your defense has had problems.
That's right.
3rd down and have to go to the 40-yard line. So it's 3rd and 17. Mounties trying to signal in the right personnel package and formation. Play clock is inside of 7 as Goodshield on an empty backfield. In the pocket, scrambles, looking to throw upfield. Had a receiver. It's tipped into the hands of his receiver. Concentration extraordinaire. Cade Seldenridge.
Flags down in the backfield, though. That may be a roughing the passer back there where the flag is.
Well, Seldenridge on the reception up at the 43, but they're bringing it back.
Oh,
holding is going to be the call.
That's a big one, too, because it's behind the line of scrimmage.
Yes, it is. It's going to take it back from the point of the foul to the 10-yard line. So what it been? Well, actually to half the distance from the point of the foul, so they'll take it back to the 8. So that's a 15-yard penalty all in all. And it will be 3rd down again. 3 for 5 on 3rd downs, but this one is 3rd and a country mile. They need to go to the 40. So 3rd and 33. Goodshield with an empty backfield. Trips to his right. Twins to the boundary, short left. Goodshield, time to throw. Scampers, trying to get out on the corner. Pump fakes, got the linebacker free. Now Goodshield cuts across the field, trying to find blockers, trying to find running room. Penalty flag down again.
It's going to be an illegal block.
Goodshield finally taken to the turf. But again, that's going to be an illegal block, and again, the
it's going to be a chop block.
Exchange of comments, and now here's a second penalty thrown as Josh Shepard kind of lost his cool, so to speak. I think he's the guy going to get penalized for the illegal block, and then he had a little bit more than a "thank you, Mr. Referee" comment to the guys wearing the stripes, and a second penalty flag will be thrown. So that'll negate a good run on a scramble by Goodshield that came all the way out to the 33-yard line. It was a 20-yard run.
Yeah.
But that's going to be negated on the penalty, on the block, and then the personal foul that will be tacked on to that. Or at least that's what we anticipate to be the situation. We've had very limited communication to the field with the wireless mic not working tonight. I'm sure Colby Berna is just as frustrated about the communications as the Rufford coaching staff has been about the performance out on the field. But here's the signal from the referee. All right, so the blindside block on Joshua Shepard from the 27 back to the 13.5, and then the penalty from that point takes it all the way back to the 6-yard line. It'll be replay the down. So now with 31 seconds left to go, it'll be third down for the Mounties from their 6-yard line. So 3rd and 34. Seldom Ridge, along with Bunch and Jensen Garner, are the three receivers to the boundary left side, ball in the center of the field. Goodshield in his pocket, steps up, under pressure, going to run, going to keep it. He'll be hit and run over a tackler, just powers past somebody, and my.
Kidding me.
Can the Ruffers' Keandre Johns chase him down and pull him down from behind? Yes.
Wow.
At the 3-yard line. In the words of a professional baseball announcer, I don't believe what I just saw.
91 yards on the carry by.
And the Ruffers had it defended well. Goodshield scampering all the way down the field. And the quarter ends. It'll be 1st and goal to go for the Mounties after a 91-yard run by the Heisman Trophy winner tonight for the Mounties, the quarterback Noah Goodshield. Back for the start of the fourth quarter. 49-6, Rogers leading the Ruffers. Here on Ruffer TV, we're back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2021.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton. What a way to end the roller coaster ride of the third quarter. Noah Goodshield on a 3rd and 34 eludes tacklers, gets out in space, and then runs over a would-be Muskogee tackler. And all in all goes 91 yards before Keandre Johns can use his speed to track him down from behind. And it's now 1st and goal at the Muskogee 3-yard line.
Give kudos to Keandre for really hustling and making the effort to get there and bring him down.
Goodshield this time will hand off. Straight ahead is the effort. And the stretch and the reach and the touchdown.
Touchdown, Mounties.
I didn't get the number. Looks
34.
Like. Yeah. I think
Wes
it's
Tomlinson, I think. Is that right?
Well, touchdown for the Mounties.
Yeah.
3-yard touchdown run. That makes it 55-6. Slaba on to knock down another PAT that's perfect. And there again is timeout on the field. With 11:49 left to go in this heartbreak for the Muskogee Ruffers, who took 2 steps forward and a whole bunch of steps back here tonight against the Mounties of Rogers. 56-6. We're back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2021.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you on this game number 3 for the Muskogee Ruffers, and this one will be one that Travis Hill just may take the videotape and throw it in the trash before he ever gets on the bus here tonight. That last touchdown, the 3-yard run by Wes Tomlinson, was made possible on a heroic effort from the quarterback, Noah Goodshield's 91-yard quarterback scamper. Slaba, another driving kick to the end zone. And there's the whistle that sounds. So that'll bring it out to the 20 where the Ruffers will start again. With 11 minutes and 49 seconds left to go in this influenza type of performance. You feel like you got the virus,
They've
Nick?
all got COVID.
Is there a vaccine that we can order? Well, that'll put it at the 20. I'm sure Travis Hill would line up every one of his coaches and himself and his players if there was such a quick cure for a young ball club. Ficklin still in there at quarterback. He's going to just throw this one up down the boundary, and there's an easy pass interference call. Ruffers' Caden McGee was out in front of the intended receiver. And the defender in coverage that time, one of the seconds now on the field, that's Andre Trinery. He'll get called for pass interference, and that'll be a J. Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee Ruffer first down and 10 by penalty. But, Nick, that's not a bad play on the young man's part. I mean, he was beat on the play, and the only way he's going to keep him getting burnt and scorched for touchdown is just to push the receiver off his path, and 15 yards is better than 6 points.
Yeah, it is. Moves the ball up to the 35 for the Ruffers.
Clock showing 11 minutes left to go tonight here at Whitey Smith Stadium. Beautiful facility on the Rogers High School campus here in Northwest Arkansas. 35-yard line, first and 10 after the 15-yard pass interference penalty. Ficklin, little bubble route back to the short side. Gibbons making the catch at 35 across the 40. And this is not Gibbons this time. That's Brendan Wilson on the catch and run. He'll take it across the 45 and up to the 49. 14 yards on the J. Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee Ruffer first down attempt. Brendan Wilson getting his first night's action. 5'4", 142-pound senior. Do you have any magic formula for enhancing the water that could grow some taller Ruffers? First and 10. Ruffers come back to the near side across midfield at the 50, at the 45, and downhill to the 43-yard line to go goes Brendan Wilson. I'm sure not only Travis Hill and his football coaches would like it, but Linwood Wade would probably say, give me 2 or 3 cases of that magic water. Mm-hmm. It'll go from the 49 in Ruffer territory to the 43 on the other end. Wilson will get 8 yards. And the running clock continues. Jamarian Ficklin having to go the distance. Ruffers, due to injury, have no backup quarterback other than Jaden Bell. Bell now in a slot. He'll come in motion. Ficklin will hand it off to JB, who does a little shake-and-bake move and got smothered by the oncoming defenders back upfield at the 46-yard line. So that'll lose 3. And the Ruffers will face their 11th third down opportunity of the night. And so far, out of 10 chances, Nick, they've converted only 1.
1 of 10, wow.
Latavian Johnson, Jaden Bell are to the left. Brendan Wilson, the running back. Todd and McGee are to the boundary wide right. Ficklin in the pocket, slings one out on the edge, caught by McGee at the 40, the 35, sidesteps the tackler at the 30, inside the 30 and down to the 25-yard line goes Caden McGee. Jay Hodge, Muskogee Rougher, first down and 10.
29 yards on that one.
46 to the 25. 21 on the number. But a Muskogee Rougher first and 10 at the Mounties 25. Bell again with Todd this time. Outside to the left. Ball on the right hash mark. Motion across the formation. Handed off on the jet sweep. Coming back near side. Change of direction. This is Latavian Johnson dancing between 1-2 tacklers and will scamper his way inside the 15 and down to the 13-yard line goes Latavian Johnson. We talked about Brendan Wilson not being too tall. How about LJ? He's 5'6", $150, but this young man is like Jamarian Ficklin, a freshman with a lot of playmaking ability.
Yes, he is.
12 yards on that run for the first down, so it's first and 10 for the Ruffers from the 13. Ficklin again in the pocket. Underneath catch made by Bell, trying to find blockers 10, trying to get outside on his own, and might have had his headgear ripped off. Nope, it's not his. It's another player. And Bird will get it to Bell, and the BB connection gets about 7 yards on the play. Castaneda in on the stop for the Mounties, who have got several of their twos now on the field. The Ruffers have seen 3 straight Arkansas opponents and are going to be on the same side of the scoring ledger each of the 3 tries. Now Wilson this time will line to the right of Ficklin. The counter, give it off. Ficklin coming left, slicing in between tacklers, and then stood up as his forward progress will be to the 4. Getting there to make the stop was David Padillo. So the carry goes to the 4-yard line.
Ruffers trying to knock it in here. Another third down for them.
This will be third down number 12. Have to go to the 3 for the first down stick. Ficklin rolling to his right, looks to run or throw and slings his way over the top. And Birdman, when you watch film on Sunday, you're going to say you could run if you've got any gas left in the tank for that first down.
Yep, would have had the first fairly easily, if not a touchdown on that play.
So the incomplete pass leaves the Ruffers now 1 for 12 on third down chances. But facing 4th and a yard to go and down 56-6 at your opponent's 4. This is where you just have to muster up some side of want to and make sure that you make it happen. Caden McGee, Jaden Bell, and Isaiah Gibbons will be to the right. Ficklin, direct snap, waits, throws, outfield, trying to find Bell in the corner of the end zone. Had it knocked away.
Oh, wow, I thought he had
the ball in his hands, but then got popped by Joel Garner. And the ball knocked free, and the Ruffers again come up with empty pockets.
Oh, that would have been a nice one to have, too, to be able to get yourself an offensive touchdown on the night. Wow.
So the drive that goes 9 plays that started at the 20 will turn it over on downs now with 5 minutes left to play. And a 56-6 setback tonight here on the road. So the offense now quickly on the field. We'll see who will be in at quarterback, and it appears now at quarterback is Finley Bunch, if that's the right number. Handoff just goes straight ahead, and on the first down carry, that'll be Tomlinson.
Ball was carried by number 34.
He'll get it from the 4 upfield to the 6. The Mounties have a lot of young kids too, Nick.
Mm-hmm, they do.
If you look over their roster. Long, steady look on the part of the backup quarterback for Rogers. Second down and 8 yards to go.
Just taking their time with the play and running that play clock down.
No need to get in any hurry here. Mounties will just wait. They'll give it again to Tomlinson. He'll come straight ahead and get stood up as he got to about the 6-yard line, and then got a frustrated shove back upfield by LaShawn Mans. No gain on the play. Actually, they're going to give forward progress a yard to the 7. So now with a third down performance tonight, Nick, that by my call, if I'm right, it's 4 out of 7 tonight for the Mounties.
On third down?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably about right, yeah.
That just tells you, though, 7 times in an entire game you've gone to third down and you've got 56 points.
Mm-hmm.
You've been
Lots
picking
of big
plays. Yeah. High snap, give it off to Tomlinson. Straight ahead again. He'll follow the surge of his offensive line before finally being stood up by the white-clad jerseys of the Ruffers that really there's not a lot of juice flowing through those batteries right now, but they stop it after about a yard gain upfield to the 8. So it'll be a punting situation.
For the first time tonight, Kale Slava will have to punt it.
First time tonight, Slava will be forced to punt. Slava carrying a 41-yard punting average. Ruffers won't even put anybody back. Slava will stand about 5 yards deep in his own end zone to wait the snap. Rolling snap. Slava will pick it up and gets it away. Now the Ruffers do finally get a guy back. That's Bell late at the 40, at the 35, trying to get to the edge and just can't get there. JB's got to be a tired young man. He's been the go-to target on multiple occasions. Return goes back to the Rogers 34-yard line. The clock will stop because Rogers has an injured player down on the kick return. Let us remind you there will be an off week for the Ruffers this coming Friday night. And then 2 weeks from tonight, back in action again on the road, traveling to Putnam City West to take on the Patriots in the first of what is hopeful will be 7 weeks without interruption, Nick, of district play.
It'll be a good week for the Ruffers the off week couldn't come at a better time, especially after tonight.
Man, that is exactly right. Don't forget, of course, on Tuesday night of this week as well as the following, we'll have the weekly Tuesday night Muskogee Ruffer Coaches Show live from Runt's Barbecue, where it's barbecue and a whole lot more. A little better barbecue and a whole lot more. Every time you walk through the doors, Russell and his crew do an outstanding job of making you feel like a king or a queen. And the food that they put in front of you is hard to beat, and there's a whole lot of it at Runt's Barbecue.
Well, let's see if the Ruffers can do something here in the final 2 minutes of this game and get them an offensive score.
Ficklin again this time will give to Johnson, running hard off the right side inside the 20 and churning the legs forward. He'll go all the way to the 25-yard line. From the 34 to the 25, Latavian Johnson showing the coaching staff that he wants his chances to carry the football. And before he's done, we're going to call the name of LJ multiple times the next 3 seasons, as well as this one. Ficklin, the freshman quarterback, back in the pocket, backside toss. Catch made by Johnson, breaks tackle, 20, 15, on the feet at the 10, and all the way to the 3-yard line. That's just want to desire on the part of the young freshman. He was covered, Nick, on the pass play, but used his escaping skills and able to dance his way downfield to the 5-yard line. So a 20-yard pass and run. Jayhad Chevrolet, Muskogee Ruffer, first down at 10, and now the Ruffers, with a minute 5 left to go in the game, are right back knocking on touchdown's door. Finish it this time. Hustling to get players in the right spot. Ficklin keeps the football himself, runs to his right, and gets down to about the 3. Ruffers going to have to hurry down this non-stop clock. Ficklin will get to the 3, so he'll get 2. We're down to 37 seconds left to go here tonight. And Muskogee's going to take a timeout. We'll do the same. We'll take this 30-second timeout and return to Whitey Smith Stadium in a 56-6 contest. Mounties of Rogers leading the Muskogee Ruffers. We're back after this timeout on Ruffer Football 2021.
There's an old school way of doing business here at James Hodge Ford. Exceptional service, a firm handshake, and the best price around on a new Ford vehicle. Of course, don't forget our Hodge promise to you, our customer. that's stronger than oak. That's just a great way of doing business.
The James Hodge Ford Promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee. Online at hodgeford.com. 30 seconds exactly remaining in the first half. Ruffers have it 2nd and goal to go from the Rogers 3-yard line. Jamarian Ficklin has gone wire to wire at quarterback. He'll take the snap, roll to his left, looking to run or throw, has an angle, and uses his elusiveness and quickness, what little bit of energy he's got left, to scramble 3 yards and get the touchdown run. Touchdown Ruffers, touchdown James Hodge Ford, home of the Built Ford Tough F-150. They're in a better truck on the road today than the Ford F-150. I can tell you because I've got one, the wife's got one, and you need one. And the best place to get it is James Hodge Ford of Muskogee.
So Ficklin gets the only offensive touchdown of the night for the Ruffers as Muskogee ends up going 34 yards on the short field drive.
So now the Ruffers will try the 2-point conversion again without Skylar Onebear because of the medical situation and just unable to convert on the pitch sweep for the 2-point try. So that'll leave the score 56-12 with the ensuing kickoff to follow. 18 seconds left to go here tonight. Nick, I know you're going to be doing the journalistic recap of tonight's contest in tomorrow morning's edition of the Muskogee Phoenix, and you'll scratch out some stats there for me, partner. I'll bring them down to you to give you back when we're done. But, of course, we know you've got to get to the field and try to get a word or two with head coach Travis Hill for tomorrow morning's edition of the Phoenix. Always nice to have a guy that not only is a good broadcaster, good note-taker, good statistician, but just as good a journalist. And you'll see his comments in tomorrow morning's edition of the Muskogee Phoenix. Okay, so now the pressure's on you to turn
I'm just
this
going to
nightmare.
say, hey, let's put this one in the books and get ready for the next 2 weeks.
Well, the Ruffers will have 2 weeks for which to get ready to play. And again, Jamarian Ficklin will line up for the kickoff duties. I don't think we see any type of onside kick here, do you?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Ficklin will just kind of nub it down the field. It'll roll toward the boundary, and the Mounties will fall on it back at the 17-yard line. And more than likely, with this running clock here in the second half, there will not be another snap, and that will be tonight's football game. Rogers starts fast and finishes with a 56-12 victory over the Muskogee Ruffers. As here tonight, the team effort of Noah Goodshield, Cade Seldenbridge, with help from Joshua Shepard and many, many more. The Mounties improved their mark to 2-0, and the Ruffers' losing streak extends to 11 in a row, and now 0-3 on the season in a 56-12 final score. Back with our post-game show in 3 minutes. This is Ruffer Football 2021.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
There has never been a better time to buy than now. Drive a little, save a lot at Nissan of Muskogee Ultimate Used Car Sales Event. Save thousands now on all in-stock models. Come see us today at Nissan of Muskogee. Online at nissanofmuskogee.com. NissanofMuskogee.com. That's right, NissanofMuskogee.com. Use your cell phone, tablet, computer, we don't care. Just shop our huge selection of new and used online and then just pick, click, and drive. Why wait? It's that easy. Log on today at NissanofMuskogee.com.
The Muskogee Athletic Department would like to recognize its proud Rougher Athletics sponsors: Armstrong Bank, Oklahoma Army National Guard, Arvest Bank, Chick-fil-A Muskogee, Neighbors Building Neighborhoods, St. Francis Muskogee, Tommy Nix Auto Group, Springs Skilled Nursing and Therapy. Go Ruffers!
It's a time when uncertainty spreads faster than understanding. It's also a time when taking steps to prepare can help us all find a sense of security. At ServPro, helping our nation's homes, businesses, and shared spaces be more clean, be more safe, is why we're here. Here in your community, here to help.
Welcome back to Whitey Smith Stadium in Rogers, Arkansas. This nightmare here in Razorback country of Northwest Arkansas is finally done, as the Mounties start fast and never took their foot off the gas as they win it in convincing fashion, 56-12. Senior quarterback Noah Goodshield had a Heisman Trophy-like night. 5 touchdown passes in the first half, and then with third and a country mile showed his desire to make this a dream come true performance as he scampered on 3rd and 34, 91 yards to the 3-yard line on the final play of the third quarter. And then Wes Tomlinson would amble in from 3 yards out to add the final score for the Mounties. 56-12. Muskogee finally did get an offensive score in the second half when Jamarian Ficklin, who went the distance, scampered on a 3-yard run there in the closing moments of the fourth quarter. But the Ruffers just simply denied, got punched right in the mouth, and never really got back up off the mat, Nick. And it was just a long night for the guys wearing green and white. That 2-hour bus ride seems short to the way it's going to feel on the way home.
The way home is going to be a long one, because you're right. Ruffers just, particularly defensively, just never were able to get on track, and the Seldom Ridge and those guys just kind of seemed to have their way and were open just about every pass that Goodshield threw to them.
Well, Goodshield had 5 touchdowns in the first half, and 3 of those went to Cade Seldenridge, and then he added another punt return, so he had 4 scores in the first half. But once it got lopsided, there just was no swinging the pendulum back the way for the Ruffers, and the record drops to 0-3, and the losing slide extends now to 11 games in a row. And it'll be 2 weeks to prepare for the start of district 2 weeks from tonight when the Ruffers travel to Putnam City to take on the PC West.
Well, they just need to kind of go back and see what they've got to play for. They're going to have to put this one behind them. They've got 2 weeks to do it. Putnam City West, that first district opponent, give them a good chance to get a district win possibly under the belt. And so that's kind of the goal they've got to shoot for these next 2 weeks.
All right, my man, we know you got to get down to the field. Let me get this quick snapshot right here, and I'll hand you your sheet back. And we'll put a quick recap to the stats here tonight from Whitey Smith Stadium. All in all, Rogers, in putting up 56 points on the scoreboard, rushes the ball 22 times for 192 yards, 13 of 16 passing for Goodshield, 213 yards, and 5 touchdown passes. Collectively, the Mounties amass 405 yards in total offense. For Muskogee, only 6 first downs, most of those coming late in the fourth quarter. Ruffers tonight on third down chances were 1 for 12. 11 rushes for 63 yards, 15 of 29 passing for Jamarian Ficklin, including 1 pick six. He did get the one rushing touchdown, so altogether the Ruffers get 200 yards in total offense, 7 penalties for 65 yards. Individually, Seldom Ridge had 6 receptions for 168 yards and 3 touchdowns, plus that 56-yard punt return. But the hero for the Mounties was Noah Goodshield. 13 of 16 passing, 5 touchdowns on the night. Jaden Bell was the Ruffers' leading receiver with 5 catches for 50 yards, and Anthony Watson had 5 carries for a 40-yard total in the rushing stats. But the stat that counts and the stat that really hurts is the final score, 56-12. Muskogee falling at the hands of the Mounties of Rogers. Back to put a recap and a wrap-up on tonight's broadcast from Whiting Smith Stadium in Rogers, Arkansas after this 2-minute timeout on Rougher Football 2021. Red Dirt Production Services proudly supports the Muskogee Ruffers. Productivity in the oil and gas industry requires every member of the team to know their job and do it to the best of their abilities. Just like in football, teamwork is a #1 priority, and that's the mission of Red Dirt Production Services, serving the oil and gas industry through roustabout and well pumping services, along with environmental remediation and pipeline construction. Proud to join forces with the Ruffers to win every day the Muskogee way. Red Dirt Production Services says, "Go Ruffers."
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
A savings update from Jay and Rick.
If you need cash, where do you go?
The ATM.
Exactly. The August Trade Marathon at J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee.
Selling your car, make or model, doesn't matter.
If it runs, we've got the funds. Count on ATM.
Always the max.
If you're shopping and don't see the vehicle you want on our lot,
it might already be on the way. Log on today.
Shop and buy online.
Get delivered first.
At J. Hodge Chevrolet of Muskogee.
Well, it was a Hall of Fame celebration weekend tonight here at Rogers High School, and the Mounties showed the old-timers what 2021 football looks like in a winning situation as Rogers improves to 2-0 with a 56-12 whipping of the Muskogee Ruffers, engineered by their senior quarterback Noah Goodshield, who on the night had 5 touchdown passes, and the Ruffers just simply could not find any offensive success. Tonight, Ruffers drop to 0-3. They'll have 2 weeks for which to prepare for their next encounter. It'll be another road trip, this time to Putnam City, where they'll take on the Patriots in the opening round of district play for 2021. But tonight, it is not a good night for the Ruffers, but there is going to be another day. Again, special thanks to our student-led production crew, Bree Gialetti, Mallory Garner, and Mad Dog Madison Grayson for producing the second half of tonight's ball game. Back in our radio studios at Okie Country 101.7, Mick Reed pushing all the buttons and keeping the broadcast with us, and we thank you for joining us again here on Ruffer TV for 2021. For Nick Hampton, I'm Bill Huddleston. Tonight, again, the final score, not an easy one to swallow, 56-12. Rogers with the win. Ruffers drop to 0-3. We'll see you in 2 weeks from tonight at Putnam City West. But until then, Bill Huddleston saying so long from Northwest Arkansas. In victory and in defeat, I still believe it. It's a great day to be a Muskogee Ruffer. Good night, everybody.